the Los Angeles Dodgers and San Diego Padres are playing in Game 5 coming up in a little under 2 hours. So if you're just tuning in, if you're just getting to the program, it's myself, the big CY Clinton Yates, and MT, the other MT,
That's right.
Mike Trudell. What's up? Can we get a radio clap for Mike?
Hey, thanks. Not the 6'9" Bahamian.
No,
Mike,
not
or
him.
Michael. Yeah.
Not him. So, Mace asked you a little bit, what are you doing back in the fold? That was a funny question, but I was told by one corporate Greg before you got here that you wanted to be known as more than the sideline guy because you got baseball takes. And I believe it. You're wearing a Dodgers jersey right now for those who aren't watching on the YouTube feed. Talk to me, MT. How you feeling today?
I am wearing a Mookie Betts jersey today, and I was starting to get very annoyed when Mookie was, over 22.
Yes.
And thankfully and expectedly, he promptly went way in the other direction and started hitting home runs basically every time it got up.
Almost.
I am feeling great about the Dodgers for many reasons. So, like considering heading into the postseason, the situation with the starting pitchers and how much of a concern that was and how great San Diego was playing, especially the second half of the season. To get to a Game 5 when you have held the Padres scoreless for 15 straight innings since that bizarre second inning when Machado on the ball.
You're liking that stat a lot, the 15 straight innings.
Well, it's kind of important. Like the Padres are flailing away in everything. Important. They're way out of rhythm. And I get the concern about Yamamoto in the first inning and slow starts and all that, but you have so much pitching behind him that's right there, that's ready. Didn't have to play yesterday, Clinton. Yeah. So every single arm that you want to get to, and you know at this point, right, the Dodgers have how many smart people in the front office that know exactly who's spin ready.
That's arguable.
Well, okay, that's at least that's my coming in from the. I didn't used to do Blue Review like you. Okay,
before we get to all this, I wanted to ask you. How many Dodger games a year do you get to?
Yeah.
What is your typical setup in terms of how you take in Major League Baseball? Because your NBA schedule is very busy. They're obviously at different times of the year, so to speak, but a large part of the NBA season goes into the baseball season. How many ball games a year you get into in terms of your ability to show love?
Pretty good amount.
Okay.
Now, and I'll give you the full background. Moved out here in 2008, right, to work for the Lakers, and it didn't take long to recognize the connection between the Lakers and the Dodgers. So that's one. The television network that I also work for, Spectrum Sportsnet now, of course, used to be Time Warner Cable Sportsnet, has the Dodgers.
Definitely.
So the partnership was very strong. I was, of course, a Twins fan growing up. We had the 87 and the 91 World Series. I grew up in Minnesota. But since they're in the AL, and because of not just the Lakers, but because I can actually watch them every day, especially in the offseason, the Dodgers hit pretty quickly with me. So in terms of how many games I go to a year,
I'm just wondering. Yeah.
I'd say probably 10 to 15.
That's a high number. Don't get me wrong. That's a very high number. And when you're hanging out around guys like J-Hair, it's impossible not to infectiously love the game, love them. D-Train is there as well.
J-Hair, great Jordans.
He's a big Jordans guy.
On,
I don't even like being around that guy in public sometimes because he's always stunting on me on the kicks level. But no, I love Jerry Harrison. Great dude.
You know
my
guy John Hartung?
Yeah, Hartung's there.
Okay, I mean, Oral and Nomar, the whole crew.
They've got one of the more diverse, and by diverse, I don't just mean in terms of what skin colors are like, but ages and life experiences, broadcast teams that any big league team has, never mind the number of people, so that is good. That is good to know. Now, okay, that said, if you weren't here, would you be at this game today?
I thought very hard about it.
Okay.
Now, my twins had a birthday party that they could not miss.
Not the Minnesota Twins who you were referring to earlier.
I have twins. Yeah. they are 9. Shout out to Jet and Talent. So that was one of those where before I knew that I was going to host today, we got back about 1:30 in the morning, I think, from Milwaukee. And so I'm like, okay, it's going to be a 5 p.m. or 5:08 first pitch.
Right.
And getting from where I live down in the South Bay area would have required us basically leaving school early and them skipping the birthday. So that was the consideration. I thought then, well, maybe I'll go with some friends or go solo. So I thought about it, but I ultimately wanted to be back watching the game with them. Although you and I, look, we're going to have the first hour.
We're going to have the first hour.
So I'm excited to be able to get the true blue knowledge from you. I'm doing a daily baseball podcast.
Listen, I don't do that anymore, but I do cover a lot of baseball. It's a lot of baseball talk. Shouts to, not sharts to. That's a weird. I don't even know if we should dump that or not, but it's a funny word. Anyway,
people are good with that.
So, here's what I'll say. While we're in this first part, I'm going to ask you all the basketball I'm going to ask you, literally in these next 4 or 5 minutes, because the rest of the show is going to be dedicated to the Dodgers. You went to Milwaukee. What are vibes like in terms of overall for this team? I'm not even going to get into Bronny nonsense because that doesn't matter. But you look at the rest of the Western Conference. How do you feel this team feels about itself, goals-wise?
I mean, vibe-wise, everything has been great.
Okay.
And I think that the most exciting piece of all of this is that, like, J.J. Redick comes in and just immediately has this connection with the players. And the times that we've seen the actual rotation together, which was the first half against Phoenix and then most of the first half against Milwaukee, plus the bench rotation, everything has looked really crisp and really sharp. And just like that stuff alone, I think builds so much going into the regular season opener. And then you have some of the young guys popping. Max Christie's looking pretty good. Dalton Connect's looking
I love
pretty
Dalton
good.
Connect. Let's just be clear. I love that player. I've been a big
man.
fan of his at Tennessee. That guy has been moving. I love that player. Anyway.
3-level scorer. I
Yes.
think he right now is the 9th guy in the rotation, and those are going to be the 9. Everybody knows what they're going to do. They know with whom they're going to play. So all of that has been great, and that's all you want out of a preseason. You want the continuity from last year. You want the connection with the coaching staff, which has happened. You want LeBron and AD playing just like they did for Team USA, and they are. They look great. So I think everything has been super encouraging from a Lakers standpoint, which is great because then I could just think, okay, it's Dodger Day.
Okay.
You know?
The decks are cleared.
Yeah.
Yamamoto versus Darvish. Nice little subplot there in terms of a playoff game that 2 Japanese-born players are starting in. Something that I think is a nice thing for MLB as we develop along the years, seeing more players from other places that are in big spots. The game globally is something that is very important to me, Trudell, in terms of the type of people that get to play at the highest level. Even if this weren't a Game 5, this would be a very cool element of this to me, just in terms of where we are with the global portion of the game.
Yeah, 100%. So, like when you with what the Dodgers have going on, that nothing but winning the whole thing is have any value. It would seem like.
I mean,
the way they approach the season,
right? I would agree with that, and that's kind of a problem if you ask me.
And that's where I get to with it in following the day-to-day in the NBA. And I think that baseball, when you double the schedule, that plays out even more. There is so much value that you can take out of it. But when you have all of the talent that you have, like I also get that part of it because that's part of what the Laker and Dodger connection is. It's that like, yes, the day-to-day matters, but ultimately like when you've won championships before, and when you've seen it and when you've celebrated it, it's very hard to be happy about anything less.
That's true.
And so that's where we come into this and where you come into this and trying to tell some of the stories out of it. But if they lose again, all anybody's going to want to talk about is Dave Roberts.
Yes and no.
And starting pitching for next year.
Yes and no. But I do think, and I say this all the time, there is a certain level of delusion that comes with a certain type of sports fan for the sake of mental health and simply being a happy person, I try to warn people against because you are going to drive yourself, your friends, your family, and I don't know, maybe your internet followers crazy if you don't have some level of realism on what's going on because these 2 franchises, well,
that's the hard part about sports though. Like one team wins. And right now, every team that's playing is really good.
This is very true.
And it can come down to just one starting pitcher being able to go 7 innings.
Right.
Like, what's going to happen tonight? Is it going to be
I'll
Yamamoto?
tell you what's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
It's going to be you, Darvish.
Nobody's going 7 innings tonight.
No, I don't think exactly. You, Darvish is on 4 days rest.
Right.
He has not been good historically in that kind of a setting. Yamamoto has struggled to start games, but like it's so difficult to parse it down to if you lose this thing, then your whole season was a waste. But how could both teams not feel that? Like if the Padres do all of this and then they just lose to the Dodgers again, devastating. If the Dodgers do all of this year after year and they only have the title in 2020, that's going to be a tough pill to swallow. So I try to push back oftentimes into the narrative that the only thing that matters is a championship, but like that is what they're going for. You just have to put it in perspective with the rest of life.
You know, if you were on Around the Horn, you get muted for saying narrative. It's one of the banned words.
Well, that's why you're on Around the Horn.
I know. I'm just saying people say it too much, but I say it here all the time. So every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, my ears go up. But you're exactly right about that. Narrative control is a big part of what both of those franchises do. We're going to get more into the Dodgers today. Again, 5 o'clock. 5:08 p.m. is first pitch. Dodgers-Padres, Game 5, NLDS. He's Trudell. I'm Yates. This is ESPN 710. But first, you can enter for a chance to win the ultimate winery experience at Francis Ford Coppola Winery with airfare for 2, a 2-night hotel stay, and a winery tour. Enter at ESPNLA.com. You must be 21 or up and a California resident. The prize is awarded as a gift card. Francis Ford Coppola Winery, Gyersville, Sonoma County, California. Enjoy responsibly. It's 710.
The most followed sports radio station in America.
710 ESPN.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Going through a life change, whether you're downsizing, you've inherited a home, or you're just ready for a change, Seller's Advantage is here to make selling your home easy. They'll buy it as is with a competitive cash offer. With Seller's Advantage, you're in control. Close as quickly as you want and do it on your own terms. Check out their reviews online and call for a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS. That's 888-390-2747 or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Gear up and get out to Kelsey's at Pachanga, the top spot in the Temecula Valley to watch all the Monday Night Football action. Dozens of TVs means all your favorite games, plus a M&F food menu fit for the greatest fans. Sliders, loaded tater tots, pulled pork pizza, and a lot more. Plus, you'll find beers on tap and incredible craft cocktails at Kelsey's. Visit Pachanga.com and follow at Pachanga Casino on Instagram for info about special and exclusive NFL team appearances. We'll see you at Kelsey's at Pachanga.
It's SUV month at Kia of Carson, and you can get sweet deals on the last of the 24 Tellurides and win a sweet night experience for you and 3 guests for just a test drive. Compliments of Kia of Carson and ESPN LA. We have great deals on our hybrids and plug-ins, as well as our all-electric models. So whether you decide to go with the Nero hybrid with an EPA estimated 53 mpg in the city or a rugged Telluride, we have the car and the deal for you all month at Kia of Carson. Visit KiaofCarson.com, or better yet, come test drive a new Kia for a chance to win a sweet experience.
Hey kids, Uncle Artie here from Pernia Law, here to tell you about a newer sponsorship deal with Matt Barnes, who has deep LA roots, former Bruin and pro basketball player for both LA teams.
If you're looking for the best possible results after an accident, call my guy, Uncle Artie, at Pernia Law. And there's never any upfront fees. They collect when you collect. And for the record, their win-loss record puts them in the top of the standings. That's 844-DIAL-UNC. That's 844-DIAL-UNC.
It's football season, and Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for all the action on the gridiron. With a game-changing rewards program, plus an amazing selection of tickets, Vivid Seats ensures that every fan can catch their favorite teams and players in action. Vivid Seats has you covered with deals that cater to every football enthusiast. And all tickets come back by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
This is Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog.
On 710 ESPN.
They say I'm crazy. I really don't care.
Sedano and Kap, Trudell and Yates here on a Friday ahead of Game 5 of the Dodgers. Why is this? What's the historical significance of this?
All right, in 1988, which was an amazing year, not because I was born, but amazing year. The single "My Prerogative" by Bobby Brown was released from his second studio album, "Don't Be Cool."
Now, why is this such an important song? D, do you know the answer to that?
I don't know the answer to that.
Have you seen the video?
I have not seen the video, no.
That's part of it. But,
Wait, you've never?
Back then, yes.
I heard the song, but I never watched the video, no.
The My Prerogative video.
Go watch it.
Looking that up. Didn't Britney Spears do like a My Prerogative takeoff? Something like that.
Britney?
Am I
Did she?
making that up?
No.
I mean, I could Google
My
that.
Prerogative was a stage show. It was like a performance video. And he later, I want to say he performed this later that year at the MTV Awards. And this is the song he was doing. And it very sort of looks similar to his video. And let's just say that something popped out of his pocket that he really needed to pick up on stage before the dancing ended. And so I'm fairly certain that was the song. That was he was right. He had a quick shuffle, looking like Juan Soto in the box, to get to what he needed to. So That was wild.
Google tells me that Britney does have a song called My Prerogative, and the only reason I bring that up, Clinton, is I believe she shares the same age as you and I.
Is that correct?
Now, you were 1 year ahead of me in school.
Yeah.
But like I always like to say, in my class, which was class of 2000, we got Justin Timberlake, Britney, and Beyonce. That's a pretty strong foursome. Okay,
Nice.
I'm including myself into that, but you could replace me with somebody else. I think a little bit more. Now, Britney, a little bit of a slide lately, but I'm very comfortable with Beyonce and JT.
That's fair. I was listening to none of those artists at that time because I was just a hard rock doing other things. But
what were you listening to then?
Wu-Tang, Mos Def, Rage, Beastie Boys. I mean, you can name it.
90s hip hop is my true.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I had
Okay.
I had not moved into accepting pop culture into my life on that level to that extent at that stage. But that doesn't matter because there's something that does matter.
Low End Theory or Midnight Marauders? Real quick.
That depends. I think Midnight Marauders is probably a better actual top to bottom album, but I like Low End Theory better. Now, that's important because things that I like versus what I think better or theme would be returning to quite a bit.
We'll get back to that.
Speaking of, though, timeliness, though. Lauda, you came in here during the break and you said that the day's developments might have shifted because one Briones is getting after it on the gray market. What's going on?
All right. So I've been wanting to go to a game, definitely a Padres-Dodgers game. You know, we talked about this. I almost went to San Diego. That didn't work out. And I really wanted to go to the game today. I've talked about it, but, I had a cover, so I get out of here a little late. Briones comes in and he goes, dude, there's tickets for $125 in the door. Let's go. I was like, do it. He didn't pull the trigger. Now, there's tickets being floated around for $150 to get in the door. We don't care where we go because no matter where you're at Dodger Stadium, you have a good
just
time.
In the building.
Yeah.
Also, you never sit in your seats. Who does that?
You don't do that? You float?
I float.
Okay.
I float. I'm a floater, okay? I somehow end up where I'm not supposed to be, but it's all in fun. So anyways, that is the goal right now. I don't know where Briones went. I will definitely be there late because we get off the air at 6.
Right.
Your girl might dip at 5:55 when the commercials hit. No, I'm just kidding.
Fine.
I will be here at 6. But, yeah, we might go. It might be a thing here.
The question is, do we know anybody who's there already or any
Oh,
of the
yeah,
COT
Travis.
people there?
Well, Travis and Susan are there.
Right, they're there.
Yeah.
But I mean, do we know anybody from the COT who's there?
I don't know. Get at us.
Weird, because when I was in San Diego, I was getting a lot of incoming
Well, here's the
about
thing.
all this crap about Dodgers fans this, Dodgers fans that. Nobody ever seems to be going to any of the games. Nobody. What's going on?
My thing is, like, I haven't really been active on Twitter lately either. I've just been so busy.
Right.
But, yeah, man, like, I really want to go. I hate what happened game 2.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta go after
Well,
it.
the first question. Okay, take out the first question. You have to go. That's the most important thing.
Got to get there.
You got to go.
Yeah.
So now the only question now, in terms of efficiency and price, are you ever comfortable in a situation like this going, since you're going to be late anyway, and then just counting on a couple of people that didn't show up and getting tickets really cheap? Or do you need the confidence of knowing that you've got it in your Apple Wallet already before you leave here?
I was driving on the 5 to San Diego.
This is true.
Literally, and I was like, I don't care. I got out. I was like, I'm going to do it. The game's at 6 something. I'm going to be late. I don't care. My boyfriend's little brother lives in Gaslamp. Anyways, he's like super close to the park. I'm like, I will figure out a way to leave my car at his place, whatever. But I'm stuck. There was like an accident or something going on by Commerce Casino. And my ETA went from like 6:05 to 6:15 to 6:25. Then I passed Commerce, and they got to be like 6:45. And I'm like, bro, I'm at Gaslamp, not even at like around where I need to be. By 6:45, there's no way.
Yeah. Especially down there because a lot's going on.
There's
around
a
the park.
lot going on.
It's a great setup. Don't
is.
get me wrong, but if you're not inside the drop zone within a certain amount of time, you're not getting to the ballpark
you're not.
with a timely manner.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, that said, let me turn off this Bobby Brown video. I got him dancing all over my screen. I'm like, what am I even looking at right now?
I like how you turned it on, but
How's he
D
moving?
didn't turn it on, and he's never seen it.
Okay, so a couple things that coming into this game, Mike, that I had some concerns about. Now, we can talk about the pitching matchup in a second, but one of the things you brought up and I want to discuss is the Freddie Freeman situation.
Yeah.
Now, Freeman has been hobbled. That's the word we're going to use because he's got an injury literally affecting his feet, and he's in the lineup today. Dave said before the game that he was getting treatment. He's had 2 total days off, which he thinks is important. I am concerned about what's going to happen with Freddie if he has to come out of this game, because if he's tweaking it bad enough that he's got to come out of a game, then it means that even if they do win, that potentially affects his availability down the line for other series. Man, it's a tough decision for me because, of course, you want Freddie's bat. Freddie's a guy that plays 150-plus games a season. He's never going to say no to getting out there. But if also you have to sort of burn a bench bat just because something slight happens, man, that's tough, in my opinion, for the Dodgers in terms of what the nature of the injury is and the position he's playing, never mind how important this game is.
The most important thing for this type of a game, as you just said, Freddie, if you ask him, hey, are you good to go? He's going to say, yes, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
So there's a meeting of the minds, and it's the training staff, and it's everybody. It's everybody that's important in the organization. But, like, you can't go to Freddie Freeman, and he's telling you, hey, guys, I'm good. I get it. I'm not moving very well, but, like, I'm playing first base, okay? He actually stole a base. I don't know if that was advised earlier in the series. When it
Didn't love that. Yeah.
Dave Roberts was kind of like, eh. But I don't think there's any circumstance where you say, hey, Freddie, we're calling it ahead of you. If he's saying, I feel good enough to give it a go, you trust him up to a certain point and let him get out there and play. I'm not as concerned about if you have to burn a bench bat. Like, we know the guys that are going to come in. Like, it's going to be Pages most likely.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be Chris Taylor. Like, you trust both of those guys. I get it. Chris hasn't had.
I don't really trust Chris Taylor, but I'll extend that point for what you're saying.
And I get that. I get it. He hasn't been swinging a hot bat or anything, but he's like, he's not somebody. At least for me, watching the Dodgers so much over the years, like, he's built up some credibility for a situation like this. Kike is starting. You can put him wherever you want. Like, he's going to be in center field, but if you have to put Pages out there, you put Kike at third. You move Max over to first.
Max over, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, the scenario, they are covered more than any other team would be, I guess is the way that I would put it.
Okay.
Any other team in Major League Baseball that has a player of Freddie's caliber can't bring somebody like Pages off and still be solid in the infield and still feel pretty good about center field. So, like, I don't even think it's that much of a decision, really. It's just like, look, he's shown that he can hit the baseball. Maybe he's not going to drive it out of the park on that ankle, but he can put it through the middle of the infield like he's done. I'm feeling fine about Freddie, and if he tweaks it, which certainly could happen with that kind of an ankle injury, then you just go to the plan that you used last game.
I don't think it's a big decision, but it's one that I thought about just a little because of exactly that. You're like, man, if he gets hurt,
to your
that's
point, though,
tough.
Everything in this game 5 is a big decision.
Right.
To your point, like, everything matters. One called strike that is called a ball could be the difference between who's advancing and who's not. So you're right. Everything is significant in this game.
There's so much going on around this team right now. Now the pitching matchup on the other side. We're going to talk about this because, look, there are so many different ways to think about how to approach the starting situation with this. There are so many different philosophies. There's different ideas about what different types of managers would do in this situation based on previous records or previous trends in the series. When we were in San Diego, I covered games 3 and 4, and after game 3, I remember the difference in the two managers was very simple. Mike Schilt came in, and he said, because the losing guy comes in first. So Dave came in, and he said, without being asked, it's a bullpen game. He said, the next game is a bullpen game. He seemed to understand exactly what he had to do from a cutout standpoint in terms of the work that was cut out for him in order to be able to win that next game. Schilt sat down, and somebody asked him about the pitcher, and he said, well, dang, that was a great game, wasn't it? Almost as if he didn't want to have to think about it before he had settled on what he had done. And it was an interesting reaction because I was like, I mean, okay, but yeah, like y'all, you do you want to revel in this or do you want to get to the next step? He didn't seem like he wanted to get to the next step. And then he said it's going, who it's going to be in terms of Dylan Cease. And that to me indicated that like the next decision that is made from the pitching standpoint that's going to matter is probably going to be the important one. And for Dave not to go back to the bullpen, I think that shows a level of confidence in Yamamoto that I did not know was there, to be quite honest, on a larger level. I did not think he had that. I did not know that this was going to be the spot, but the reason why I think is most important. We'll talk about that on the other side. We'll get to some of the sound from Dave Roberts earlier in the day. He's Mike Trudell. I'm Clinton Yates. This is Sedano Kap on ESPN 710.
Hey football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
LAFC.
Oh, flip for LA Football Club, Diddy!
The LA Kings and Angels Baseball.
The all-new ESPN LA app, your destination for LA sports.
Hey guys, it's Cappy here, and let me talk to you about this issue of dealing with your homeowner's insurance. So your home floods, right? You have a big giant flood at your house, and you realize that the insurance adjuster is trying to pay you so little that you won't be able to repair the damage. That is when you call Avner Gatt. Avner Gatt is a public insurance adjuster who is on your side. Look, you can try and negotiate with the insurance company yourself. I've tried. You're going to find out very quickly it is not that simple. Avner Gatt and his team negotiate on your behalf to make sure you're getting the best possible outcome, not the insurance company. He and his team have been dealing with insurance companies for so many years. It's all they do. They've got the experience. They've got the industry know-how that you need on your side. Now, some of these folks used to work for insurance companies before they joined Avner's team, and Avner Gatt himself has 20 years of experience in this industry. Avner Gatt has one of the largest teams of professional, licensed public adjusters in California, and yes, the size is important. Avner has a unique winning recipe for handling homeowners' insurance claims. No one, and I mean no one, messes around with Avner Gatt and his team. Call Avner Gatt, 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256, or visit AvnerGatt.com. That's AVNERGAT, AvnerGatt.com. You call Avner Gatt, 818-917-5256. Avner takes the call himself. Hello!
Hey, football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Stella, Brate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
We're getting crushed out here. What's going on with you, Nick? You used to be the unstoppable king of flag football.
I'm feeling my age. At 40, I feel like I can't keep up anymore.
Is it lower testosterone?
Lower T?
Yeah. When you turn 40, you have less testosterone. It's harder to stay lean and get the same results you used to get. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I know Nugenix. It really gives you an edge.
No question. At work, the gym, the bedroom, Nugenix turned back the clocks. Now I've got the same energy that I did in my 20s.
I want to try Nugenix.
All right, time out. Guys, go text Nugenix and get yourselves a complimentary bottle to try.
Text CASH to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text CASH to 42424. That's CASH to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive.
How is that related?
On 710 ESPN.
Sedano and Kap, ESPN 710 Los Angeles. Mike Trudell, Clinton Yates. By the by, the USC Trojans are back at the Coliseum on Saturday to host the #4 Penn State Nittany Lions. Coverage begins at 10:30 a.m. with the Trojan Tailgate Show. Kickoff from the Coliseum at 12:30. Hear it all right here on your home of USC Athletics, 710 ESPN, and all the new ESPN LA app, of course. Saturday's game is presented by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, a proud sponsor and the official retail bank of USC Athletics. Fight on. Now.
Can rectify those tough Midwest losses.
Minnesota.
If they can find
It's not easy to go up there and you get your boat rode. It happened. You know what I'm saying? But
that's Michigan. But hey, beat Penn State and still in the mix.
Why you play the games. Now, we were talking about the pitching matchups today. Yamamoto going up against Yu Darvish. Two Japanese-born pitchers facing off for the first time in the playoffs in Major League Baseball. Cool fact on its own, but we're talking strategy here. Now, quickly, Trudell, let's hear what Dave Roberts had to say in the presser before the game today about why he went with Yoshi.
Well, I think that if you look at Yoshinobu, he's on his regular rest. Jack, it would be a regular rest for him, which is shorter still. We don't have the same as far as bullpen availability as we did as far as up downs and all that stuff. So I think that kind of realizing that, Yoshinobu's here to be a top end starter, and this is his time. And I feel that we have really viable candidates, behind him. But I still believe it. It's certainly, we all feel good about the decision for him to start.
MT, your thoughts?
Well, I think that the biggest thing we forget, and you didn't forget this, but we don't emphasize maybe, is why isn't there just the full confidence? Well, because he got hurt, and he missed a bunch of the season. He was mowing everybody down for a good portion of the season after the rocky start. Like, once he got settled in, that's when you saw, like the first time that I saw Yamamoto, somebody sent me a clip from Japan a couple of years ago, and I was like, whoa, you don't see the ball move like that too often. And so to have him come here and really establish himself and have the success. All right, fast forward to today, and he's gotten a couple of games on wax now. The first start against the Padres, not great, but then had the good start a couple of weeks ago. And so, as Roberts just said, he's on regular rest. He's a top-end starter. And what he's not going to say in that setting is, we have a very good option to go to in terms of the bullpen, everybody of whom is available, if it doesn't work out. But, to just think that it's not going to work out in advance and either scratch him or then what are you saying? Not just to him, but kind of to your whole team.
Yeah.
It's that you have a role to play. You're healthy. We trust you. I think you have to project that type of a confidence, unless that he was so bad in the previous game, in which I don't he wasn't terrible. He started out a little rocky, and a couple of things happened, and the game escalated. But that to me is where I think it's the right decision to at least give him that opportunity to show us who you are. And you're not going against. I think you're not putting your team at a major disadvantage because you can extricate yourself out of it if it doesn't go as planned.
Now, in theory, all of that makes absolute sense in my opinion. He's the guy. You got him. You might as well throw him. But the problem is that what if he just didn't trust him in this situation? And you have an option in Jack Flaherty, in Jay Flay, who's had a bit of a career resurgence, and we know has been in this spot before in the playoffs.
You don't think that was an actual option, though, do you?
Yes, I think that was an actual option.
Really?
Flaherty, yes, because here's the deal. The problem
I get the Flaherty thing.
The problem is this. You're starting Yamamoto, and I feel that part of the reason why you have to start him is what he said. We brought him here for this. Now, that to me says, okay, you're pulling down that kind of scratch. You're starting in this game. But if you think about what he's done in the first innings, and we have the stats here. Let me get to this on my worksheet or maybe I deleted it. No, here we go.
Is it on you don't have it on your official score?
No, it's not in the scorebook.
Okay.
All of his first inning combined, this is from Jack Harris's story in the Los Angeles Times. A 6 ERA with a 2.96 against. In innings 1 through 3, his ERA was 4.76. The point is, that first inning is a real issue. And the Game 5 element of this,
it's true.
To kind of say, well, we trust them, you're thinking, man, if you're throwing everything out other than just the result, I just feel that that's a tough situation to put a kid in. Not that he's a kid, but to put a player that's relatively new to the league in and say it either works or it doesn't, because if it doesn't work and he is the biggest, he does have the highest the highest salary there is, it's like, what did we do? There's this whole other Pandora's box of fear that I think is on the other side of that when you think about how important it is to win a game, there is a consideration there. That said, you can't do it the other way around. And that's why I think this is ultimately the right decision, because you're not going to start Flaherty and say, okay, well, Yamamoto can come in for a spot situation. I just don't think you can do that the other way around.
Clinton, it would be one thing if you had absolute prime Clayton Kershaw that you could throw on short rest or at least close to it that was the other option there.
Right.
And like Flaherty's been great since he came to the Dodgers, but he's not somebody that you're just 100% sure that he's going to deliver the win for you.
Well, if it's going to be so-called bullpen game anyway, or sort of an amalgamation of one, what difference does it make? I think that's where it's tough. Look.
Well, that's where he goes. That's what Robert says, though. Like this is what the standard order would be. Like this is what the team prepped for going into the postseason. Yes, we understand the first inning issues, but we have a plan for that. And I don't think it's not like you're dismissing what Yamamoto's going to do in the future again, because he's coming back from an injury. He hasn't even pitched deep into a game other than what's the furthest you get, like 5th or 6th inning,
right? That's the furthest anybody goes. But I see what you're saying.
More or less, yeah. I mean, you got a little. You're getting a little bit of that like once in a while, but like I'm sympathetic to it, and it's not just a complete no-brainer, which is why we're spending so much time on it and why Roberts is getting asked about it a ton.
Yeah.
But like my immediate pushback would just be like, well, yeah, but they're having to throw Darvish on 4 days rest. Like that we also know does not work.
I just feel that I take a very real concept and idea of, is the spot too big for this person? And maybe it's not. Maybe it's not, and maybe you find out that the spot is perfect for this person, but in an elimination game, one in which you are arguably managing for your job, to just be saying, well, yeah, I trust him. I presume he's in the right frame of mind.
I don't think it's just Dave's
tough.
call, though, right?
I know, that's my point.
Yeah.
Is that's why this is difficult. So when you tell me that everybody in the building has the smartest brain on earth, I'm like, all right, well, let's see how that all works together. Shouts to Andy Kamenetsky, by the way, who texted me, and he said, thank you. Hold on, let me read what
Why don't you text me, Andy?
He wrote,
Wow.
Thank you for joining me on the Freeman is good but not infallible island. It is a lonely place to reside. I just think that they're in a really tough spot with this, that I really hope this works for them, honestly, for more reasons than just this series. And I hate it when those kind of storylines get wrapped up in what's going on with a singular game, but it is very much a part of it, Mike. It is very much a part of what happens in this series and in this matchup today.
And you know when we're all going to be especially having all of our expert glasses and takes out?
When's that?
Well, after.
Well, yeah.
However he pitches in the first inning, right? The referendum is going to come. But guess what? It's happening in like an hour.
It's happening in like an hour. Laura might be going to the game. If you are on your way to the ballpark, or if you're even already there getting banged up in the parking lot. 877-710-3776. 877-710-ESPN. I'll take your thoughts. All right? Now, you know the rules. Come correct or you will get banged. All right? I will hang up on you quickly.
Trust me.
I will insult you.
You don't mind a little confrontation?
No.
Yeah.
I live for this. I'm from the East Coast. It's no big deal. It's what we do. But anyway, so big matchup from the pitching standpoint. Darvish, at the very least, he's been there. Yamamoto still has something to prove.
Hold on. Can't we talk about you? Why shouldn't we be let me take the we out of it. Shouldn't anybody rooting for the Padres be very worried about Darvish going into this game?
I'm not. I wouldn't be worried about Darvish one bit. It might not work out.
You know the numbers on 4 days rest?
I do know the numbers on 4 days rest, but I also have seen
the pressure, big games.
Watching Darvish pitch, he's a guy that can work around these situations, I think, than a lot of other guys in the league because of his experience and because of the amount of throws that he throws and how he mixes it up. If we really want to get into this.
I think they're barreling him today.
I mean, okay. All right, let's see. Let's hope so. Let's hope so, because we know how much this team has to score runs in order to win ball games. We're going to be tough. It's going to see it. Again, give us a call if you're on your way to the ballpark or if you just want to yam about the Dodgers. 877-710-3776, 877-710-ESPN. Sedano Kap, Trudell, and Yates. I'll see you on the other side.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Monday morning at 9 a.m. after Greeny.
We're all eating the same thing.
Yeah,
that's very true. We're all eating the same stuff.
Staples.
Yes, same stuff. Her mother-in-law, this is when I asked to marry her. She gave me tongue. Not like gave me tongue, like tongue to eat.
She served you a meal, which included tongue.
Man. She gave me tongue to eat. And
Lengua, yeah.
Yes, so my wife has introduced me to... Let's just leave that story where it is. Yes,
How was the tongue prepared?
Let's just move on from that. That's gross.
Tongue is really, really aggressive. Like, you got to cut it and pull that piece off around the outside.
But she gave... This is how she gave it to me. She, fed it and... stared at me like, you're going to eat this.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It was good.
Was it okay?
It was really good, yes.
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco
on 710 ESPN.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/LA to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/LA.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Kap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
All right, guys.
Take it away, Laura.
So, go Kings, go. And
go Kings, go!
Thank you. I was like, I couldn't find mine. So, shout out to the Kings. Congratulations. They won their season opener yesterday against the Buffalo Sabres. The Kings won 3-1. And fun fact, Kopitar scored all 3 goals in the 3rd period.
Okay.
You know,
go Kings, go!
We are officially the home of the Kings. So, go Kings, go.
What's your NHL level of fandom like?
Well, look, as a native Minnesotan,
gotta be pretty big, yeah.
I am obligated to like hockey.
Well, are you a college hockey guy or are you an NHL guy?
Well, so I was growing up, we had the Minnesota North Stars until Norm Green yanked the North Stars down to Texas, of all places. Yes, I'm still mad about it. And like every time a team leaves a market, right, most recently like the Oakland A's, it hits me in my heart for thinking of all, especially the 10-year-old kids that had to see their team go. So that sucks. Minnesota Golden Gophers for sure. I followed more closely. When they moved, though, here's the problem: when you work in the NBA and you have to, and not only do you have to, but you like watching every game on League Pass, that's where my NHL fandom has hurt.
Right.
And I can never go to Kings games because whenever they're playing here at Crypto.com Arena, I'm on the road,
obviously,
with the Lakers. So that's the only part, but I do try to catch it on the worldwide leader when I can.
Love the Kings in terms of what they bring to this town from a sports fan standpoint. Kings are a real deal hockey team. You know, you get to some towns and the NHL presence is not really what it could be. They know what they're doing here.
Honestly, if you haven't been to a Kings game,
tons of fun.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, tons of fun.
So much fun.
They got a kid named Andre Lee who grew up in Sweden, who's a great story, newcomer to that team. And so if there's some names you want to follow, we'll be doing that obviously all season here as the home of the Kings.
I love Rampage. Obviously, I'm a Rams fan. Love Rampage. Super cool. But Bailey, top notch. Okay, I'm just saying, top notch.
Mascot talk.
Yep.
Exactly. No, Kings games are fun. We'll have to get out to some this season because I love the NHL. I've loved the NHL ever since I was a little kid playing video games. Never mind growing up going to watch the Capitals. I also went to a college in Miami Miami University in Oxford that had a huge hockey program. It's the biggest sport there. So
Mikey, I made Gretzky's head bleed.
Yeah, exactly. I was there every weekend watching my Red Hawks skate. Now, okay. The other big question is this. 2 games ago, when these two teams, this series was unfolding, well, Jurickson Profar decided he wanted to get under a couple of guys' skin in left field. Caught a ball off of Mookie Betts that nobody thought he caught, including the telecast. Came down with it, stared at a couple of people in left field. By the way, what are you doing if you're in left field and you don't find a way to knock that ball out of his glove? Another discussion, Dodgers fans.
Yes.
That was a whole other matter.
Mm-hmm. He did not understand the assignment.
I texted Sedano and Kap. I think, Sedano and Cappy, they were talking about this, and I was like, don't you think it would be a good idea for the Dodgers to give away free tickets to all of the high school baseball teams in the area and have them sit in row 1 just for that specific situation? So if the ball is close, go ahead and what's the Yankee kid that robbed the Oriole?
You talking about Jeffrey Mayer?
Yes, Jeffrey Mayer. Just go ahead and just Jeffrey Mayer that ball and just high school baseball kids with their gloves in the first row of the outfield. Thoughts?
The Dodgers don't give away anything. You know why? They got to pay Yamamoto and Ohtani. That's why. That's another story.
We also don't need to give away free tickets because they always sold out.
Take the free out of it. Take the free out of it.
No, it's a good idea. It's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
Or Dodgers fans can just pay attention to the game happening in front of them and not be so worried about trash talking other players. I bring this up because that was the ugliest scene I've seen at a playoff game in my life. People throwing stuff on the field, balls getting thrown on the field. Profar kind of flipped his wig. Tatis, had some fun with it. I liked what he did. He's always down for a good time. But is there a possibility you think that the behavior of the Chavez-Ravine faithful could be a factor today, Trudell? It's a big game.
I mean, I can't dismiss it. I can't dismiss it. This is where, so I also am a big soccer guy. And you see a lot more of this type of behavior in Europe.
Yes, this is hooliganism.
It's a little bit more normal. Now, I don't think anybody wants it to get to the extent that it got to back in a couple of games ago. But I'm also not – I don't want to overreact so much so to try and lecture fans, right? Like, there is a line, yes, don't cross the line, but I also think, like, that's part of the chase of all of this that we're doing in sports. Like, it's a metaphor for life without actual consequences in terms of life or death, and therefore, like, getting the passion up to a level that is a unique experience in a Game 5, I think is super important. That's part of what makes these moments special. And I think 99% of the time, what happened does not happen. And I just don't think it's going to get to that extent tonight.
I sure hope not, because that was a chance. That's like the one chance you have as a fan to truly affect the game. And, man, was that a biff. Can you imagine if Mookie gets that ball out, Lord knows how the rest of that game goes. It was a big game changer in terms of momentum.
Well, so it's also 5 p.m. start, I think, helps some.
Yeah.
To equate this to basketball, sometimes in the playoffs, you'll have a later start on the East Coast. Especially in Boston.
The Miami Heat are infamous for this as well. Yeah,
you give the fans an extra 2 hours to drink, then you're going to get a little bit more of that type of behavior. So maybe that can having it be an early start can temper things a little bit.
877-710 ESPN 877-710-3776. Chris in San Pedro, what's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, guys? Mike Clinton, thanks for taking the call. Go Dodgers! Huge game tonight. I am not in agreement of starting Yamamoto tonight. The 6 ERA in the first inning. Enough said. By the way, 2 examples of why Dave. I'm a little surprised at this decision. 2021 series against sorry about that.
It's okay.
2021 series
Put your
against
dirt
the
bike to the
Giants.
side.
They started Corey Knebel. As the opener. Urias gave them the bulk innings, and then that led them to the big arms later on in that game. And Scherzer closed it out in a Game 5 win to advance them to the NLCS. Also,
good call.
Reggie Jackson, 77 series World Series here. Before that, Billy Martin benched him against Kansas City lefty Kent Splittorf because he couldn't hit Splittorf. Sometimes you have to look past the stardom, look past the contract, and do what's best for the team. Appreciate the time, guys.
Excellent phone call. That's how you do that. Get in, get out, had a hurdle in the middle with his engine blowing up or whatever happened, and got through it and still got through his examples. That was a good phone call.
Yeah, he said hi, got to his business.
More phone calls like that, please, if you're going to call. 877-710 ESPN. But do you see what I'm saying? The Yamamoto decision is not an obvious one.
Well, I'm not dismissing it by any means. I'm just saying that when pushed to it, and I have to make a decision, that's what I would do. But I'm not out here like 90-10. I'm much more 51-49 on it. Like I certainly get your take.
It's just one of those things too, where, and I know this is sort of doom and gloom, and I don't mean to be like that. I understand that the Dodgers are on the front foot in this series in some ways, if for no other reason they're at home. But I hate those decisions when it feels like there is extra stuff to it.
Well,
rather than just what's happening in the game. Not that I think they're bad. It's just, man, that's a tough feeling if you're somebody who's a fan.
Let me try to approach it this way, though. Given the ridiculous level of injuries that the Dodgers have endured, specifically to starting pitchers, and I gave you the scenario going into Game 5. Here's what happened. Here's all that had happened. And the decision that we're talking about is whether or not to start Yamamoto or Flaherty and when to get to the bullpen. Those, relative to what we thought the pitching problems might be, aren't that bad of pitching problems. Sure. That's all I'm saying. Like, I feel good about the overall picture of what the Dodgers are looking like going into Game 5 relative to what I was worried about with the whole starting rotation, like what they were going to do matched up against the Padres.
I don't disagree at all. But the other problem is this, Trudell. The last game was the best pitched game they had. and it was the best result they've had in the series. There is an element of, ain't broke. Why are we trying to fix it in terms of what we're doing? And that's where I think the Yamamoto question comes in. Are you saying that it's effectively just a bullpen game? Because if it doesn't work, it doesn't work? That doesn't make sense to me, because if the reason why it doesn't work.
I think you're dismissing Yamamoto's arm talent a little bit too much.
Okay, it's not that. It's just that, again, if the large concern here with provable stats is that the first inning is the issue, and you've got a potential solution to that in terms of how you've approached literally the last game, man, you're playing with a little bit of fire here for the sake of being able to say that you could.
All right, first inning, Blake Treinen, then Yamamoto.
Blake Treinen. No, Blake is the late inning Yamamoto. Guy. You need Blake on the back end. His stuff is too nasty.
Well, no, but Kopech came in and
that's true. That's true in the third.
I would just say, like, the Yamamoto discussion is worthy. It's worthy, and I'm not dismissing it at all. But I like the mindset going in as a team, and this is like what Dave Roberts is trying to push out. Like, nope, he's our guy. Like, we trust his arm. I get the thing about the first inning, but we don't have 99 Pedro or pick one of Clayton Kershaw's like 4 Cy Young seasons. Like that guy isn't there for this game. So we're confident with this.
Okay.
And then we're confident with what we have behind it.
Let me tell you, I hope this goes well. And I don't mean necessarily in terms of the win. I mean for the sake of Yamamoto, because I do think that there is a certain part of when guys come over, there's not exactly an unfair assumption that they're going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but with the money that he is, and you can't fault him for that. I'm not trying to imply that he should not be taking all the money he can or anything like that. But with the money at the pressure level it is, with the team at the pressure level it is, if for whatever reason he doesn't have it, there's an argument that could have an effect well down the line for just who he is in this league. And I really hope that they can manage that from an emotional standpoint in a way that doesn't potentially break this guy if something goes way wrong. We've seen that happen in the bigs.
I'm going to try to counter-argument that right now.
Yeah.
He was hurt for most of the year. He's coming back. He's not in his rhythm yet. Yes, he faced a tough opponent. We are fully confident going into next season that, again, back to the talent, back to the reason you signed him and paid him, that he will be just fine. Just like Shohei come back next year to pitch off of his second time.
Zabrionis, what are we doing here? Do we have an update on whether or not we're going to the game yet? This is important. Come on in. Or get on the mic and talk about it. Briones is over here.
By the way, we haven't even talked about Shohei Ohtani.
We haven't.
Or Mookie Betts.
We haven't.
Like, the Dodgers got some players.
Oh, my God, we do. There's a lot going on. Also, if you're going to call, please don't call about a show that happened 4 or 5 hours ago, because we have no idea what they talk. Like, this guy's like, hey, I want to talk about da-da-da. I'm like, what show? He's like, oh, I took a nap. I'm like, bro. You did not understand the assignment.
There's a podcast, bro. You can go listen to that.
He's rested,
right, exactly.
Nice.
Hold on. What's the update on the run? To
all right, so I'm waiting to 4:30. The prices are dropping as we speak. So I'm waiting to 4:30. I want an Uber at 4:45. I usually Uber to Guisados. I walk up the hill there.
Jorge, first of all, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, fool?
I heard.
By the way,
you owe him something.
By the way, Trudell, what's up, man? It's been a while.
Yo, you didn't bring me. He's always giving me gifts.
I heard some tea about you, Trudell. I heard some tea about you.
I'm glad you brought it up, my man.
We should do it next, though.
All right, we'll do it next.
Yeah, we'll do it next.
We'll do it on the other side. We'll talk about that. Mike Trudell's here. I'm Clinton Yates. It's Sedano and Kap.
Don't blush. Don't blush.
ESPN 710 Los Angeles.
You never have to miss a moment of LA's mega sports station. Get the all-new ESPN LA app.
Just search ESPN LA in your App Store or Google Play.
Download, tap, and bam!
You got 710 ESPN in the palm of your hand.
Just like in sports, you can never predict an accident. It will come when you least expect it. Travis Rogers here with DeMarco Farr to tell you about our friend, Joseph S. Normand.
If you're in any accident, call Joseph at 213-747-2000. The team at Normand Legal is ready to help you and achieve the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Joseph at 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. You have many choices in a legal team, but family always comes first.
Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. The law office of Joseph S. Normand.
John Ireland here to tell you about my friends at Mirror Audio Video in Westwood. Listen, if you're thinking about upgrading your home or office with the best brands in the world, like Crestron, Nice, Lutron, or Control 4, it's got to be Mirror and no one else. Why? Because for more than 40 years, the biggest names in Hollywood, sports, and business have all trusted Mir, and so should you. Want to learn more? Call 310-234-4010 or check them out at miraudiovideo.com today.
Hey guys, it's Cap, and if you're looking to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage. They'll make you a great cash offer with no need for repairs. They buy it as is. With Seller's Advantage, there are no agents. They can close within days, and they buy with cash. They'll even offer a $10,000 advance to help with moving costs and other expenses. Check out their reviews online and call for a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, and visit sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Hey football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Hey, it's Mace. There's a lot on the line in this election, from protecting the Social Security you've earned to supporting family caregivers. And you have the power to make the candidates listen, because voters 50 and over decide elections. That's why AARP California has created an election guide with the most up-to-date information about when, where, and how to vote. Get trusted election information at aarp.org/CA votes. That's aarp.org/CA votes. Paid for by AARP.
Hey, Travis Rogers here for my friends at Mike Thompson's RV. It's time to get out and get dirty. Toy Hauler RV season is officially open. Bring your toys along for less now through October 20th at your Toy Hauler headquarters, Mike Thompson's RV. They have revved up discounts across a huge inventory of top-selling brands, dozens of floor plans to choose from. They're making it easy, so pack your toys and go full throttle with special pricing on all trailers and motorhomes in stock. Race on in today. These deals won't last. In-store and online, MikeThompson.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield, and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
This is Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive.
Really? Oh, my B.
Yeah. My B.
Your B.
On 710 ESPN.
Sedano and Kap, Trudell and Yates. And by the by, you can enter for a chance to win the ultimate winery experience at Francis Ford Coppola Winery with airfare for 2, a 2-night hotel stay, and a winery tour. Enter at ESPNLA.com. You got to be 21 or up and a California resident. The prize is awarded as a gift card. Francis Ford Coppola Winery, Geyserville, Sonoma County, California. Enjoy responsibly all night long. That's what folks are going to be doing if the Dodgers can pull out a win in Game 5 against the Padres. It starts in a little less than an hour. Mike Trudell in the house. You know him from Spectrum and the Lakers. But apparently there's business for you and Briones. Is Briones still here?
I'm nervous about this.
Y'all have something to talk about. Hash it out.
Oh, I heard some stuff.
Okay, so I'm glad he brought up the Brazil jersey during the break and whatnot. So yes, when I first started here, Trudell, we used to have the show here, and I was filling in for a few like days while Funchy was figuring some stuff out. I was
you did a great job.
Thanks. So I came in because I found out you're a soccer guy, so I gave you a authentic Brazil Nike jersey.
Yes.
At the time. So one of my buddies hooked me up with a couple jerseys, and I hooked you up with one. So
Callejones.
No, not even.
Wait, hold on a second. You say one of your buddies hooked you up?
Yeah,
with a couple
because
jerseys?
okay,
because I thought you bought it.
No.
No,
we're not throwing a flag on that just yet.
No. But I for years have been like, should I buy him something?
Okay,
return?
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so this is where it goes. So the reason he hooked me up with the jersey, I bought some stuff. It was Christmas time, so I went to the soccer shop, bought some stuff, and he's like, "Yo, I got a couple of stuff here. Take it. It's just sitting here.
Okay.
I don't, whatever." I'm like, "Cool." So I gave you one, and when I gave it to you, you had said, "Oh, cool," and you just said it right now, like, "Oh, I want to buy him something." At the time, you had told me, "Oh man, I don't know what to get you. What kind of cologne do you like?" And I was like, "Anything, man. I can't smell anything, but my wife loves it.
Cannot,
I can't smell for the love of anything. I can't smell anything."
Right.
But you're like, "Oh man, I was thinking about getting you a cologne." To this day, I don't know if you went or hired somebody to make the cologne, but I haven't seen it, dog.
He says he needs some product at some point somewhere.
And I'm pretty sure that's what led to the downfall of Thompson and Trudell. I know that you have some power in the building, and you're like, this dude, I just was so, I just didn't understand why you gave me the jersey, and then I was like, well, should I give him some Lakers stuff?
No.
Should I get him some cologne?
No.
And then they canceled our show.
Yeah.
And I think
they did.
But now that you said this, so now what you've done, and this is very strategic and smart by you, I am going to bring you so much stuff now.
He's put himself in a good spot.
So you're in a good spot, especially since you blew up the spot on the air. And I like to consider myself somebody that's very generous typically, but now you have a counter example. And I just want to apologize to you.
You don't have to.
And no, I do.
Clearly he does.
That was a borderline ambush. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Borderline ambush.
It was, but it was good radio. And again, he was a good producer at the time when he would fill in for Funchy. Shout out to Funchy. He knew all my songs I like to coming into the breaks.
Tupac.
Breaks.
Come on.
And Jorge, this will be rectified. Don't worry.
Nah, man.
Excellent.
No. When I gave you the jersey, because look, you're a soccer guy. Not a lot of soccer guys here when I came in. When I was like, oh, there's soccer guy.
Well,
Done.
I mean, if you really knew me, you would have given me a Man U jersey. But that's fine. I mean,
I
Brazil,
do know you.
Everybody likes the Brazil
Wow.
Also,
he's saying it was an gift anyway.
shout out to Beto.
Right.
I'm trying to take some shots, like in a subtle way.
I felt the jab.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to
What size
Beto
are you,
who's
by the way?
listening. 'Cause
Beto's
he said,
listening?
Yeah, he's like, Briones sabotage the Trudell show.
Wow. Beto comment.
Isn't that foot in flight right now? I thought he was flying somewhere.
He's on the YouTube chat.
All I know is there was an anonymous note to HR about in their Brazil jersey was mentioned in there.
Yeah, see,
I don't know.
Now, we always love it when Beto is listening and providing us stuff to talk about for sure. Tonight's a big game, bro.
Yeah.
Tonight is a big game. I'm so curious as to how this is going to go. Like, just as an observer of this game, as somebody who covers baseball, this is a fascinating Game 5 for interior reasons as well as exterior reasons for both franchises. 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-3776. Rami and Encino, what up, kiddo?
Hey, guys, listen. This is the point I want to make to defend the Yamamoto decision. At the end of the day, the goal for this team is not to win Game 5. It's to win the World Series. And we're not going to do that if we don't have at least two really good starting pitchers. So today is about throwing him into the fire, giving him the highest leverage opportunity he's ever had in the majors, and let's see if he can pull it out. Give us 5 strong, and then we can trust him the rest of the way through. The bullpen will take care of the rest. They're there to save us if we need it, but he needs some kind of pressure testing. That's tonight. Thank you, guys.
Excellent call. I don't disagree with that. That is the logic. The question is, man, that's a lot to stake your things on if you're Dave Roberts. And not that he's the only one making this decision, Trudell. Don't get me wrong, but that's what I'm saying. He's exactly right, Rami. Good call. But is that the kind of risk you can afford to take if the goal is, in fact, more than just Game 5?
Okay. I liked where we were going with the call, right? But I don't think that you have to try and show Yamamoto something like for moving forward. I think it is about this game. You can't, of course the goal is to win the World Series. You can't win the World Series if you lose this game. And if you lose the first inning, then you're in trouble, especially in the way that the Padres can gain momentum. I just genuinely think this is more about, not just, the contract or the guy or the position or the starting pitcher. the arm. Like, he's got nasty stuff.
He does.
That's what it's about to me. It's not like you're just, we paid this guy a lot of money and he's a bum and he stinks and he can't pitch. He got hurt. He hasn't had the full opportunity to get back to his rhythm as a pitcher, but he can still throw nasty pitches. And if he's on, then yes, then that portends towards the point of let's carry this all the way through the World Series. But like, let's see him strike out a couple of Padres, okay? And by the way, his stuff started to settle in a little bit after that first inning before. So that's what I want to see. And if it doesn't work, we have very workable solutions to it.
That's true. And I think that Dave said also in that presser that we played a clip from before that he felt his best start was the start before he got hurt. And so if you think about it in that way, it's been trending in a manner that leads you to believe that we're over this stuff of the ball being a different thing or whatever he was adjusting to when they played the Korea series, which I don't think you can even include in a data set, to be quite frank, in terms of what a team facing another team is like. That's such a different experience that it's a totally other matter. But I return to the matter of leverage in terms of decision-making because I am of the belief that Dave Roberts is managing for his job. Do I think that's fair? Perhaps not. But after all of the history that we've seen, in the time that you've been in L.A., the stuff that we've seen in terms of the decisions that have been made, the expectations that have been met or not, versus what the output has been from the team, are you of the opinion, Trudell, that this could be Doc's last stand if they can't get past the Padres? And I would say to some extent, if they can't even make it to the World Series.
I mean, of course it could be, just because of everything that you just laid out. Like and who is the easiest person to change and then sell the change on?
That would be the manager.
Of course, it's the manager. Yeah. So that I get, and it's a new voice, and we loved it. But the parts of, for somebody that's been around pro sports a lot, obviously, and then more in the NBA context, like, coaching is it's the profession that I think is the easiest, of course, to second guess, because it's a little harder to second guess what a player can do when you can't play anymore. Right. But could you make a lineup decision? Yeah, Clinton Yates could have laid out the same lineup, right, for this game. You could set out the order. Now, of course, a lot more goes into it than that, but that's the whole point. Like, the public can weigh in and can put quote unquote pressure on something. So that, I just don't love when if Roberts makes the decision tonight, and let's say that Yamamoto gets blown up in the first inning, who's going to get the blame for that? Dave Roberts, even though many people are involved in that decision. And I just think that's where baseball has changed the most. Yeah. Whereas maybe in the 80s and the 90s, some managers that from a strategic standpoint, it was just them. They didn't have an analytics staff. Didn't exist. They all we really cared about was home runs, RBIs, and batting average. Those were the stats on our baseball cards when we were growing up. Sure. Now, there's a whole brain trust in that Andy Kamenetsky, I'm talking to you here. It's not just about Freeman. Every baseball team, this goes back when we first, it's like Moneyball, when most of us first are like, oh, okay, I get it. Like Billy Beane, yeah. Now every team's got that. So what is the point? Well, then the manager to me has to be the guy that's like Dave Roberts, that is good in the clubhouse, that's good with all of us, that sells the message right. And would somebody else come and do that better? I don't know. Dave's pretty damn good at all that.
Yeah, I agree. And that's why I think it's tough, because there has been an expectation put on this team that has only gotten higher since 2020 as a result of winning one when, all those great Dodger fans weren't even there. Not making any difference whatsoever. Reminder on that. The last time they won one, nobody was there. That's a separate point. But what I'm saying is this. If you're going to be the franchise, not unlike the Lakers, that says championship level is where we expect to be, and it's been this long, you've got the 8, 9 division titles, whatever the number is. You've got the 3 pennants. You've got 1 ring. Is there an argument that it just adds up to a certain point where you say, we don't have all day with everybody, the Mookies, the Freemans, the Otanis, I don't care how long their contracts are, that maybe you just feel the need to make a change, and that to me would be a mistake. I personally think that would be a mistake, but it would also be, considering the logic they're using, the franchise that is at the front office would make sense. It's tough.
It is tough, and so I think if you go back to last game, And if we're going to blame Dave Roberts for when the pitching choice or this year, last year, or the batting order, well, then are we going to give him all the credit for literally a perfect bullpen
I will.
game?
He had a great game. He outmanaged Mike Schultz. I said this on Around the Horn yesterday.
Yeah.
He outmanaged him and won that game. So I do in that scenario, yes.
And there, by we, I did certainly not mean you.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Because I know that. And so that's, but like from a public standpoint or from a Dodger fan standpoint, that let's just not dismiss those types of things if he's going to take all of the heat. But I really do feel confident that they're going to win this game. And that's why I'm already a little hesitant to get into the whole Dave Roberts, yes or no. But of course we have to acknowledge, Clinton, because that is going to be the discussion if they're not able to win tonight.
We have an update. What's going on, Laura?
Tickets are actually going up.
Oh, dear.
They will go up, but then
they're going to go down?
Pitch,
okay, after first pitch, George, we got to hold out after first pitch.
That is not the kind of update that we want.
No, I found one, and somebody snagged them before me on the Game Time app for $94. I was like, let's go. But the Wi-Fi here sometimes, it's not the best. So.
Oh, you know what?
Where were the seats? Sorry.
It was bad, but, who cares? We don't care.
Laura, you know what I just realized? Why would Jorge come in here and start talking about, things in the past unless he just wanted me to buy his Dodger ticket?
Ooh. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
That's what was really
happening.
Wow.
Had not put those two together.
You know what, though? He did say he worked for Spectrum
Jorge
Sports, and I said, hey, King,
Hey,
somehow I'm going to tag myself in this.
How much is cologne? Over $100?
If that's what you want, it worked.
Prize will be awarded as a gift card.
But if I am going to pay for it, though, let's just just wait till it comes down a little bit.
I like this though. A little generosity.
Be nice too, because I got to buy the one next to it. So
from the prodigal son.
Wait,
returning.
Laura, did I promise you something too?
No, you didn't.
Right,
no. I said just be nice because I got to buy the one next to it.
That is fantastic. He's Mike Trudell. I'm Clinton Yates. This is Sedano Kap. Radio Tinder on the other side. ESPN 710, Los Angeles.
The MLS Cup playoffs are just 2 games away for the black and gold. And the young 18-year-old sensation, David Martinez, is on fire.
David Martinez puts it in! Oh, what a rebound shot from David as Melia made the initial save!
LAFC invade Vancouver on Sunday, looking to make it 5 straight wins.
David Martinez has scored!
Pre-game coverage of LAFC versus Vancouver begins Sunday at 4 p.m. on the ESPN LA app.
It's SUV month at Kia of Carson, and you can get sweet deals on the last of the 24 Tellurides and win a sweet night experience for you and 3 guests for just a test drive. Compliments of Kia of Carson and ESPN LA. We have great deals on our hybrids and plug-ins, as well as our all-electric models. So whether you decide to go with the Nero hybrid with an EPA estimated 53 mpg in the city or a rugged Telluride, we have the car and the deal for you all month at Kia of Carson. Visit KiaofCarson.com, or better yet, come test drive a new Kia for a chance to win a sweet experience.
And the real deal is official. Congratulations to the law offices of Jacob Imrani, the official chosen legal partner of the Los Angeles Rams. If you're hurt in an accident, you need a big win, call Jacob, 844-24-JACOB, or remember, calljacob.com.
Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go online at carsforkids.org to donate today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S, Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Paid for by Cars for Kids.
High school football is coming to the Rams house. Watch one of the top-ranked high school teams in the state when St. John Bosco and Servite face off at SoFi Stadium on Friday, October 18th. Get your tickets now by visiting SoFiStadium.com/events.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
And it is Sedano Kap. Around 5:30 p.m. in the Southland Radio Tinder time, we like to play a TV theme. You can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter or Instagram. Don't forget about our sponsor, Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Take it away, Producer Lindsay.
Thanks, Chris. Producer Lindsay has the day off.
Excellent.
And now, also, shout out to Rikishi. It's his birthday, so we're playing his theme song. If you guys, I don't know if you guys were into wrestling back then, Attitude Era, right?
Yeah, we've had a very sort of New Jack Swingish kind of energy to the songs today, so kind of a similar vibes. But that's fine. I like it.
When I fill in,
that's cool.
There's a
Yeah,
vibe.
no, I'm not saying it's a problem. I was just describing it to those who are not familiar with the genre.
All right, so yes, and Tequila Mandala is the sponsor for Radio Tinder. But let's start. So I had a situation happen to me yesterday that I actually tweeted about, guys. I love Amazon. I order from Amazon a lot. And I had your delivery has been here, right? And I was like, cool, I'm going to go pick up my delivery. Oh, they left it at the front door. Even better, it wasn't at a locker. But then I look at the picture. And I live in an apartment complex, so, everything kind of looks very similar.
Sure.
But I know that it was not my front door because I have a welcome mat. And there is no welcome mat underneath where the box is. And I said, okay. So I'm like, oh, all right, whatever. So we have like a little community app or whatever. So I posted, hey, if anybody got my package, I would greatly appreciate it if you bring it back. Because Amazon doesn't want to refund me or replace the item because there is a picture saying it got delivered. So my question to you guys is, I know some of you guys live in apartment complexes. Other people may have before. Would you guys return a package that just happened to land on your door? Swipe right or swipe left?
Again, right is yes.
I don't know, man. I always
right is yes.
Okay,
right,
cool.
yes. I will swipe right. Thank you. And I will tell you a story, in fact.
Okay.
So I was literally just telling Trudell about this separately, which is really funny. So where I live, I moved across the street like 3 years ago. I lived on one side of a big road that I no longer wanted to cross the road to go to all the places I wanted to. So I literally moved across the street to a separate apartment complex.
It sounds crazy, but I used to live in that area. And
you understand what I mean?
I know what I know where you live, so I get it.
So I got a DM on IG like 3 weeks ago from my former neighbor who was like, hey, bud, something came to your old door and I noticed your name on it, and I have it. And I was like, are you serious, dude? So I went over there, and he had like 5 things that had been delivered over the course of these 3 years to me that he had kept or had been kept in the mailroom that were redelivered to me. It was like Christmas. This guy comes out with all this stuff. So, look, some people are willing to do it.
That's
what
awesome.
I'm saying. And that's what happened to me, Trudell. It was actually a very kind, neighborly experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I met my then girlfriend, now wife, in 2007 before the dating app started. So I too was not familiar, but we're going right.
Right is yes.
Say yes.
Yes.
And so yes, I am also going. Look, to me, this is about reciprocity. It's a little bit about the golden rule. Like if you have any hope of getting your package one day, or in the case of you, back to you, then you got to do the same thing. It's a little bit like if you find somebody's wallet. Are you what are you doing? Are you leaving it there? Are you picking it up? Are you actually trying to find the person? Are you going to the security desk? You're certainly, hopefully, not taking the cash. Although, I understand some part of that from some people. But we got to get the package to the destination.
I would agree.
Yeah, I've had things dropped off at my door, And I'm like, oh, I'll just take it because it's supposed to be the same apartment number but a floor above. So I've taken it, and the girl's like, oh, thank you so much. So I'm like, be nice, people. Give me my package. I want it back.
That's fair. That's fair.
Package.
All right, so next one. An Australian Olympian who took gold at the Tokyo Games has shared her journey to removing a tattoo. She calls it a god-awful tattoo. And swimmer Brianna Trudell, I hope I'm saying her name right.
Let's look this up.
Trudell, Trossell, urged her TikTok fans to shut up. Closely consider your choice when you're getting a tattoo. She did this after she won the 2016 Rio Games. And I wanted to know, do you guys have a tattoo that you guys regret getting? Swipe right or swipe left? We'll start with Trudell.
Well, let me just answer a question with a question real quick. Do you think that I have any tattoos? You don't know me that
I don't judge. I don't judge people.
Okay.
Minnesota, Northwestern? No, I don't.
I don't judge people.
And Clint, would you care to elaborate at all on why you would come to that
decision?
decision?
From places that were wholesome enough and academic enough.
Wait, first of all, I'm wholesome and academic enough.
This is not about you.
No, hey, this was good that you flipped it. I mean, you're like, I'm not touching that. And now he's getting into it. I like it.
I'm just saying that tracks towards lack of tattoos. Personally,
yeah, more in like not quite fully the John Ireland, but like close to it. Yes, no tattoos for me. Nothing that I regret. Now, I don't have anything against the idea of getting a tattoo. It's just never really appealed to me, and it does seem like it would hurt.
Yeah,
a little bit as well.
It doesn't hurt at all.
It doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't. I got my whole chest and my arms. So.
Yes,
okay, well,
this guy is tatted up.
He's ready for the NFL, bro.
Hashtag tatted up.
Nah, I mean, I'm more concerned about just matching my shoes with like my clothes. That's
right.
Really all I think about.
You're
with
doing that
fashion
today.
And what I'm presenting.
Many of the listeners in the COT have noticed.
But now it's time to talk about you, Clinton. What's up?
Okay, so I don't have any tattoos, and I want tattoos. It's just been a thing that I've never had the time commitment or whatever. Listen, because the bottom line is the sitting in the chair. Yes,
you're
on my
throwing
left
arm
sleeve.
in baseball when you were a baseball player.
No, not my throwing arm. My left arm is what I would want. The sitting in the chair is the issue. Like, who has that kind of time to sit around and let somebody do it? That's really the literal only reason I haven't done this. Yes, I'm dead serious. Also, this is a separate question for you, DeAndre. I've heard that getting them removed is, in fact, more painful than getting them.
It is.
Okay.
I haven't done that. You know, I don't plan on getting any tattoos removed because I know what I want. So,
what's your favorite and least favorite tat that you have?
My chest is my favorite one right now.
Is it?
My whole chest.
Don't take your shirt off.
I'm not.
He's not ready. He's not getting ready. Hold
to rip his shirt off. He would take it.
Nah, I have a basketball in the middle, and then I have wings going across, and I have my last name on the very top of it, and then I have my date of birth.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay,
because that's what I wanted to know.
No.
I wanted to know because when I have 2 tattoos. Mine are very small, so that's what I was going to say. Start with a small tattoo so you get acclimated, right, to sitting in the chair and not being like, oh, I got to get up. But my thing is, I was thinking for a slight second to get my last name because I'm like, oh, if I get married, I don't want to leave it, whatever. There was a whole thing. But then my dad's like, what the hell? You're going to forget your last name? What the hell? Why would you want to get your last out of all the things? Why your last name? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, don't do it. So my dad discouraged me, and he has a few tattoos. So I wanted to know, like, why the last name? Like, why?
Well, my dad he's got our last name. He has it tatted on him too. So I'm like, I'm gonna carry that tradition. I'm gonna get the last name tatted on me too.
I mean,
so it's kind of more in the family.
If I were to get tattoos, and I feel like this would be the safest thing to do, it would certainly be something to do with my kids, right? Nobody's gonna say anything about like having exactly. See my point, Clint?
It's cute.
It's cute. Tattoos, right?
That's it. It's like,
that's
cute. Like you could immediately justifiable. Like it's the kids. I get it.
I don't have any desire to have a word. They're pattern. I've designed this on many occasions. Like there are various designs that I want. Probably some Star Wars stuff in there. I'm a big Star Wars guy.
Yeah,
things that just kind of look cool. Like I want something that uses the negative space of the color of my skin more so than something that like paints a word or something like that.
Clinton, look. So as we're still getting to know each other, like I've known of your work for a long time, but I haven't really. I'm not coming at you in anything yet, and you, not me.
It's okay.
But like the whole, I don't know if I have time thing for it. Like we're all busy people. You know what I'm saying? Get some AirPods. You want to multitask?
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
You're
like,
right. I have no excuse. I have no excuse.
Don't need the time thing.
Trudell's coming at you.
No, it's true because I walk by tattoo shops all the time. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
A friend of mine came to visit Los Angeles for the sole purpose of going to a tattoo parlor around the corner from my home. and then got their own tattoo there, and I did not proceed to do that.
Basically, well, I don't want to give away where you live, but isn't it like one of the larger tattoo sort of areas
communities?
That you can
Yes,
get?
everybody is tatted up around the way. So you know what? You're right.
You should just go do it.
Sales, get on this.
I did hear
All
they're
right?
pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Please.
They're supposed to be pretty expensive, though.
That's
is
the
what I
other
hear.
thing, is that it's like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, between boredom and being pricey, it's like, it just has never happened. So it's certainly good. I might swipe. What is it? What is the super swipe in Tinder? Is that up? Or is that the down?
What's a
There's
super swipe? I
Left
don't know.
is no, right is yes, down is
Wait,
never
there's
again.
there's
and
a
up
down
is the
one?
super swipe. Yeah, you can do down, which is like,
What is
don't
su-
ever get that person on that thing ever.
Super
again.
swipe
Wait,
is like,
I'm
I-
fairly
call me.
certain.
I've never been on Tinder. I legit, and
I was
I
on
didn't
there
need
for a
to-
little bit.
I did not know there was an up and a down. I thought
Yeah,
it was a
think
left and a right.
They meet. They're like harsher versions of left and right, from my understanding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask DeAndre really quick a follow up. How much did you? What is the most expensive tattoo you have?
My chest piece was around $600.
Oh, that's
Oh,
not
that's
bad.
not that bad.
It's
at
not
all.
bad, but you know,
You had the hookup.
Oh, you had a hookup. All
I
right.
know people, man.
Right.
All right.
That's a good
Going
person
to the
know.
next one.
All right,
Shout
what do we
out
got?
Palm Springs.
So this is a troubling one, okay? But bear with me. An investigation is underway after a Texas school district teachers were accused of giving elementary school kids special stickers. And the special stickers are supposed to be sleeping aids. Okay, now I don't want to make light of this because I know how wrong this is, especially done by a teacher. But I know my mom. She's told me stories that when I was little, they used to put like alcohol, like rum, in our teeth
Yeah,
to kind
that's
of
very
put
old
us
school.
to
Yeah.
put us to sleep because I wouldn't shut up. I wonder, So, Mama, sorry, I'm putting you on blast. But I want to know, when you were young, did they use alternate methods to put you guys to sleep? Swipe right or swipe left?
Me, swipe
you can
left.
start.
No, I was a pretty calm kid. Not to get too far into it, but I was not a big behaviorally challenged child at all. What put me to sleep was the television that I would watch constantly in the basement because that's what my parents decided to do to entertain me when I wasn't in school. So, no, I never had that issue. But I heard this story, man.
Yeah, it's
and it is
crazy.
troubling. You have young young children. You have kids in grade school. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I'm going to swipe left on that one. Don't
Right.
love it. I like you. Oh, actually, and to live up to what you think of me from a generalization standpoint, also did not have any major sleep issues. Although my issue is that I did not like going to sleep. So that was I was thinking. My parents are like, "You need more sleep. You're not getting enough. And why are you?" And so they would come in and make me shut my light off. I'd be reading or listening to like Love Line at midnight or whatever.
Okay.
And Dr. Drew. By the by, I saw him at a restaurant the other day. I did not realize that the woman he was with was that woman Heather from Chelsea Lately. I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
Both of them were there. Yeah,
Okay.
it was weird. Anyway.
Yeah, shout out Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
And so then once I would see that my parents would like shut their light off, then mine would go back on, like that type of thing. But it wasn't. There was never any. They were never trying to slip anything into my bland Midwestern food at the time.
I was listening to sports talk radio when I was a kid, literally overnights because I was a dork like that.
That's because you grew up in a place that had good sports talk radio. When I was growing up in Minneapolis, we didn't even have a hip hop station until like later in the 90s, or at least one that I knew about. So I had to. Shout out to my guys from the soccer team from the other school that gave me All Eyes on Me in 1996, and I was like, oh, this is what I've been missing all my life.
Game changer, absolutely.
Still my favorite album, by the way, of all time.
Radio Tinder is presented by Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Award-winning small batch premium sipping tequila made from the finest mature agaves, available wherever fine tequilas are sold, or visit tequilamandala.com. Up your game and demand the extraordinary with Tequila Mandala. Coming up, you know what we're going to talk about?
Dodgers about to tip off, but
what you do best, or at least what you do professionally. That is basketball. He's Mike Trudell. I'm Clinton Yates. It's Sedano Kap on ESPN 710 Los Angeles.
The most followed sports radio station in America.
710 ESPN.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's Cappy, and if you want to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage. Let me say it again. It's real simple. If you're ready to sell, call Seller's Advantage. Everybody has different reasons for selling. Some people want to downsize and they're ready to move. Some have inherited property and you know what? They don't want to have that property. They want to get rid of it. Or maybe you're just ready for a change in your life. Whatever your reason is for selling, Seller's Advantage has a custom solution for your needs. They'll make you a competitive cash offer with no repairs needed, and they can close in days. Seller's Advantage is the fastest and the most stress-free way to sell your home. No complicated closing process or contracts falling through. Seller's Advantage has been making sellers happy for decades, and they've got all the reviews to prove it. So call them today and get a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS. 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, or sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Hey, Travis Rogers here for my friends at Mike Thompson's RV. It's time to get out and get dirty. Toy Hauler RV season is officially open. Bring your toys along for less now through October 20th at your Toy Hauler headquarters, Mike Thompson's RV. They have revved up discounts across a huge inventory of top-selling brands, dozens of floor plans to choose from. They're making it easy, so pack your toys and go full throttle with special pricing on all trailers and motorhomes in stock. Race on in today. These deals won't last. In-store and online, MikeThompson.com.
One of LA's best kept secrets in the heart of Los Angeles, East Central Hotel offers effortless accommodations and unparalleled accessibility. The East Central Hotel is for everyone looking for entertainment with their trendy, spacious rooms, a renovated gym, and a patio lounge for breakfast, dinner, and drinks. Stop by their incredible Nixo Lounge before your next event at LA Live. Book your stay at eastcentralhotel.com or call 213-748-1291 today at Entertainment's official address.
All right, everybody. Sedano and Cap here. And George, let's talk to everybody about Prize Picks, where you and me are freaking geniuses, and that's why we're killing it.
We are crushing it, Cappy. And by the way, you can too. You can win as much as up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks.
But let me tell you something right now. When you download the Prize Picks app and you use our code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y, you make your first play at $5, they hit you with an instant $50 bonus. It doesn't matter if you win the play or you lose the play. A $5 play turns into a $50 bonus.
Oh, my God. It's amazing. They're giving you free money, for God's sake. And by the way, it's the best way to get action in sports in over 30 states, including, obviously, this one here in California.
So, George, I want everybody to download the Prize Picks app and use our code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y, and let's win.
Yeah, absolutely. And Prize Picks puts its members first. So all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Man, when your picks hit, you can get your money in as quick as 15 minutes. And you know where you can do it? Only on Prize Picks.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installations with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog
on 710 ESPN.
Every other city, Sedano and Cap, Trudell and Yates. Speaking of every other city, the USC Trojans are back at the Coliseum on Saturday to host the number 4 Penn State Nittany Lions. Coverage begins at 10:30 a.m. with the Trojan Tailgate Show, and kickoff from the Coliseum is at 12:30. Hear it all right here on your home of USC Athletics, 710 ESPN, and the all-new ESPN LA app. Saturday's game is presented by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, a proud sponsor and the official retail bank of USC Athletics. Fight on. All right, now,
let me just enjoy the music for a second here before we get into something. Just
everywhere I go, I see the same pros. See, that's what you do. Everywhere you go, you see the same pros.
I do see a lot of pros.
Literally the same pros as in the Los Angeles Lakers, where you, of course, cover them for Spectrum Sportsnet. Now, it's been a tumultuous offseason for a couple of different reasons. And this, yes, we know the baseball game is coming up, but we got Trudell here. This is where we're going to get our little basketball talk in right now. The Bronny storyline is one thing. The J.J. Redick storyline is another. LeBron's later years, if you will, in terms of year 20, whatever, as a player in the league and the remarkability it is, what do you think is sort of the most interesting of all of these storylines regarding this team for people that are tuning in this season?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, as what's pertinent to the start of the season and like the Lakers being a good basketball team, I think that Redick coming in is the biggest change, like the biggest thing. And that's gone really well so far. I've asked basically all of the players about this, and that part of it, I think the Lakers have a lot of confidence going into the regular season. In terms of like the interest, I mean, LeBron going into year 22, there's one player that played his 22nd season. It was Vince Carter. He played about 60 games. He played 16 minutes per game. Averaged like 5 or 7 points. LeBron was all-NBA third team last year. He was the MVP of the Olympics. And he's coming in looking like LeBron. Like he's going to go for 25, 9, and 8 again. And it's so hard, I think, Clinton, to put that into perspective when we have not seen anything close to it before.
Right.
So that's the first thing. And we're not even surprised about it. It's like, oh, yeah, LeBron just got a triple-double. Like it. There is no athlete, even in any other sport, that has been this good for this long. The closest that I could think of would be like a Cristiano Ronaldo, who played late into his 30s and still scoring goals. Now, soccer is an even more physically demanding from a mileage run, and so that really it's a young man's game in the way that you've got like 19, 20, 21-year-olds dominating. But that's the stuff to me that is ridiculous. Now, the point I think about the Lakers where I get the most fired up and the most passionate about, like, what do I feel like I understand by seeing it every day that maybe still is a little bit interpreted less, as well it should be, by people that can't watch every day, and it's that Anthony Davis is better than people think. So I was trying to figure out a way to put this into perspective about what he does defensively while still being this good offensively. And if you take the numbers that he put up the last 2 years, which is basically 25, 12, 3, 2, and 1, right, in terms of points, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals. There are 2 players in NBA history that have hit those same marks. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar 4 times, Hakeem Olajuwon once, and then AD's done it 3 times.
Never heard of him. No, I'm kidding. Yes, that's a great list to be on.
And it's like, because here, what he does, he is, to me, the best defensive player in the league. You can throw in the argument for up-and-coming Wembanyama. I think AD is clearly better than Gobert. Like, Gobert covers the rim, AD covers the rim and the perimeter. But set that aside. But what he does better than any other big is that he gives you 25 on 55% from the field. And no other defensive big approaches those numbers. Jokic and Embiid certainly do it on offense, Clinton, but they are not. Embiid, at times regular season can make an impact defensively, but not where like that's his job.
It's not. Yeah, it's not his primary responsibility.
So like AD lifts the whole defense, and he's still an elite offensive player who was, I think, 15th in scoring while taking 6 fewer shots than Jokic and Embiid take. And so when we talk about him, I think even you're thinking like the inside the NBA after a playoff game, and let's say that he scores 18 instead of 30, that's the whole discussion instead of, oh yeah, but he also was the best defensive player on the court. And like that's my passion topic. It's like, wait, AD is better. He is a clear candidate for All-NBA first team. He's a clear top 10 player. And I think he's thought of more in kind of that, like, I don't know, 10 to 20, like definitely an all-star, definitely an All-NBA team. But like to me, the dominance that he does on both sides of the court, I just think is a little bit overshadowed.
He hasn't lost a step on the radio, okay? That's why Trudell is Trudell. Understand that. You want to know about the Lakers? Ask him. I'm Clinton Yates. He's my Trudell.
Sorry, just let's my AD passion project
On
take
the
there.
other side, you know what we got? Baseball. And we got to decide if Mike's going to buy some people some tickets.
First pitch is coming up in like 10 minutes,
Sedano
man.
and Kap on ESPN.
Get the TV on.
Los Angeles.
The MLS Cup playoffs are just 2 games away for the black and gold. And the young 18-year-old sensation, David Martinez, is on fire.
David Martinez puts it in! What a rebound shot from David as Melia made the initial save!
LAFC invade Vancouver on Sunday, looking to make it 5 straight wins.
David Martinez has scored!
Pre-game coverage of LAFC versus Vancouver begins Sunday at 4 p.m. on the ESPN LA app.
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Ortho are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. Could be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, or you could nominate yourself. You could win prizes like sweet tickets, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, or the grand prize, Invisalign. Enter now at ESPNLA.com, and remember, you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Ortho.
Monday morning at 9 a.m. after Greeny.
we're all eating the same thing.
Yeah. That's very true.
We're all eating the same stuff.
Staples.
Yes, same stuff. Her mother-in-law, this is when I asked to marry her, she gave me tongue. Not like gave me tongue, like tongue to eat.
She served you a meal, which included tongue.
Man. She gave me tongue to eat. And
Lengua, yeah.
Yes. So my wife has introduced me to. Let's just leave that story where it is. Yes, she.
How was the tongue prepared?
Let's just move on from that. That's gross.
Tongue is really, really aggressive. Like you got to cut it and pull that piece off around the outside.
But she gave this. This is how she gave it to me. She fed it and stared at me like you're gonna eat this.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and it was good.
Was it okay?
It was really good. Yes.
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco
on 710 ESPN.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Steve Mason and John Ireland.
Mason and Ireland back Monday at 1 after Travis and DeMarco.
When I'm listening to the radio and I'm punching around the dial, I tend to land on the station that has the most energy. That's usually us. We usually have the most energy.
We are an energetic radio station.
This is energy.
We want to pull you through the radio and make you feel it.
The OGs of LA Sports Radio. That's Mason and Ireland.
On 710 ESPN. 710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. It's 5 p.m. in the Southland.
Turn it up, man.
Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. And it's time for 30 minutes non-stop.
Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing. Thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney. Visit realfathersrights.com or call 951-482-7517. Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of non-stop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this?
And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack!
Ready to sing? Beep ba da boop. Dee da da da. Beep ba da boop. That's enough singing. We got baseball to deal
Oh, yeah,
with.
he's not good at it.
That's
either.
it's not baseball to deal with. They don't teach singing at Northwestern. That's not there.
Nah. I mean, I'm okay. You know what? What's funny is
You can bust the flow too. You can rhyme.
There's more than one Dodger game in town. My 4-year-old Riggs is the Dodgers, and they're playing the Brewers. In that game, had their first pitch
or tipped off,
right
as
now.
you said before the break.
You know, I'm like, I was just in an NBA arena last night. I gotta get that straight. Thank you for correcting it.
He's Mike Trudell. You know him from Spectrum Sportsnet, of course, for the Lakers and everything else that he does with that team. I'm Clinton Yates. Now, first pitch is coming up in, according to our clock, I'm going to wait for it. No, I'm not going to wait for it. It's coming up in 7 minutes. Now, we have a situation unfolding with Laura, with Briones, with some sort of gifts to pay back.
I don't know. That's on them.
Situation. Not entirely clear what's going on, but do we have an update before the actual Dodgers-Padres Game 5 winner-take-all at Chavez Ravine takes place? Okay. Do we have an update, Laura, on whether or not you guys are going to make the Dodger dash?
I'm going to go. We are going to go. Because he was like, they're going up. They are still going up. But I'm like, listen, it's already 5:01. You can wait till 5:09, 5:08, and we'll just see them drop.
So we'll find it then.
I need to bring Briones
I
off
think
the
that's
ledge.
the right move.
Okay, so
Bring him off the ledge.
we're going to update that as we get through our commercial-free half hour. Now, the other thing that's happening is this, and I'm very excited about this because I didn't realize this until probably 2 years ago. The first time I ever went to Iowa, literally in my life, was for the Field of Dreams game. And, you know, baseball is a big thing to me. I cover a lot of baseball. I read a lot of stuff about baseball history, never mind now. And I rewatched Field of Dreams on the way to the first MLB Field of Dreams game. And there's that scene where they're in Fenway Park when he brings James Earl Jones' character, rest in peace to the late great, along with him, and they see that thing shimmy on the screen. I didn't realize until that point that the reason why I keep score at baseball games is because in that movie, in that scene, Kevin Costner is keeping score of the game. And that's the piece of paper he uses to write down what he needs to write down to remember Moonlight Graham. And I remember at the time when I saw the movie, I asked my dad, I said, what's he doing? He's like, oh, he's keeping score of the game. Like, duh. And I'm like, I don't know what that is, even though I played Little League. You know what I mean? I wasn't familiar with the book. Point is, all these years later, as a baseball writer and everything I do, I 100% keep score. And I have my score book here with me. I have already filled out my lineups.
Got your lineups in there?
Because that's what you do.
Yeah.
And I will be keeping score of this game as it goes on. Do you keep score of baseball games? Have you ever done this? Is
Yes.
this of any interest to you at all?
Yes, it is. I still can do it accurately. Now, where I don't want to say evolved in a positive way necessarily. It's almost like a negative because I still think there's purity and beauty in the actual thing that you're holding in front of you. In other words, I still like to hold a book or a magazine as opposed to read it on an iPad.
Yeah.
But in the case of baseball, so my twins, as I referenced earlier, they're 9, so they've been playing baseball now since they were like 4, right? They start them early out here in California.
Okay, yeah, T-ball is...
Once they get to be around, like 6, there's an app called Game Changer. Any parent will know this now. And it's works great. Like, it's super high-tech. I'll be on the road, and I can follow, like, every single pitch live. Now, when I'm at the game, I'll often volunteer to do it. I didn't at first, but part of the reason that you volunteer to do it is then if there's a questionable play, it's like I pride myself on being fair, even with my kids. Like, nope, that was an error. I'm not giving you a hit. That was an error. Some parents want to do the Game Changer just so they can make sure to get their kid the hit when it's a questionable call.
That's dicey.
I don't play that way.
Way too young for that.
I don't play that way. So that's what I like to have the control in trying to set aside any bias in doing so. But so I have lost some of the purity, though, Clinton, that you still possess in having the scorebook in your hand.
Well, I take a lot of pride in it as well because it's fun to me. It is not just a function of keeping stats.
You're more engaged
I
as
don't.
well.
Yeah, I don't really actually care about what I'm not going back to it months later for the sake of actually checking statistics. I'm actually just doing it so that I can keep myself in the game, and I enjoy posting the pictures. So there's a little sort of mini club of #kids dig the scorecard that I sort of take pictures of and I put them in. So it's fun to do. So I will be doing that today, and I'd like to point something else out to you, Mike Trudell.
Yeah, please.
Because my expert level is exactly that. These are pens. These are pens, Playboy. I'm not out here with pencils. I might use a pencil just to goof around and keep my timing.
No, man.
The scorebook happens.
Not at this stage of your scorekeeping career.
The scorebook happens in pen.
Yeah.
That's where it happens. And I got multiple different ones for multiple different usages, and I very rarely mess it up. And that's just the fun part. You got to challenge yourself.
By the way, I don't know why I didn't realize this. You know, Yu Darvish is 38?
I did.
I mean, I know you knew that.
That's the experience I was referring to.
I guess, let me rephrase. You, as a general folk, not the baseball expert that covers it, and did the Dodger podcast on the daily, but I thought he was 36 maybe, but that's okay, 38. Yeah, I'm even more convinced now that he's going to get blown up today. Dodgers are going to barrel Yu Darvish. He's on 4 days rest. Blues taking over.
I'm fairly certain that as the story goes is that Yu Darvish is like Yamamoto's idol, or I believe that that's the case. Like, Yu Darvish is old enough such that plenty players in the league were children when he first broke in, to the point that he is looked at as sort of the elder statesman of the Japanese generation that he came from.
It would be Ichiro, but he wasn't a pitcher. So
no,
I guess in that sense,
right.
since he was a pitcher, he was one of the first Japanese pitchers that came over and really, got to a certain level.
All right, so I want to thank Briones and Lauda for coming in here and actually figuring out the television situation. Dare I say that's something that's often a problem in this station is finding ways to watch what's actually happening on the televisions. But right now we've got the Dodgers and the Padres. The Padres are wearing the Browns. This is an unexciting. I thought they were going to wear I thought they might have the full grays on.
Clint,
the full Browns.
I'm a little surprised that Jorge fixed my TV after he blew me up earlier in the show. I'm not surprised that he fixed your TV.
Did you hear him?
I did have the game up on my laptop just in case. He was like, "Oh, sorry, Mike, I can't. Yours isn't working." But it works, so thank you, Jorge.
So, he said, I take Venmo Cash after that.
So, okay, let's look at the batting order of the Padres. I mean, look, we're going to try to do this a little bit as a second screen situation. Trudell and I aren't just going to sit here and watch the game and comment on it, but I will say, let's reset some of the things that we talked about. We talked about the starting pitching matchup. We're seeing him right now on Fox, Yamamoto. And like this move.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a disagreement.
Sure.
Although I think it's one of those disagreements where we're like pretty close on it. I am now having projected confidence earlier. Now that I see him on the mound, I'm testing myself. How do I feel about this first pitch? Am I nervous or am I confident? And I'm going to tell you, I've moved over to the nervous
You've
camp.
moved over to the nervous side.
So this was the right choice, but I want to see that. Like, I want that first pitch, like low and outside, just catch the corner, and then I'm going to feel great.
I say this all the time, and this is part of what the thing is with me, is that if a guy's never done something before, you don't know what's going to happen when they finally get to do it. Now, Dave Roberts, he has managed in more, I believe it's more winner-take-all games than any other manager in Major League history. Because
which is crazy.
That's just how the math has worked out in terms of how the playoff format has allowed that. So with more playoff rounds, you are going to get more opportunities to play in winner-take-all situations. That said, I still think that I would have gone with somebody. I would have stuck with the bullpen game. That's what I would have done in terms of
if he doesn't
effectiveness.
If he doesn't have the good stuff, you're going to get the bullpen game
now.
In a minute.
If you want to call the program, 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-3776. What's your setup? If you're in the ballpark, don't call us. It's going to be too loud. You should be watching baseball. But if you're out with the homies, if you're at the crib, if you're pulling a Mason, sitting back in a massage chair, perhaps with a donut or something else, let us know. Call the program. Otherwise, we're a little bit locked in here. We're 2 pitches in, Mike. What did you think of the deliveries? One pitch in, excuse me. It's 1-0.
I was like, is your TV ahead of mine?
No, it's not.
Yeah,
ahead.
I mean, it was a nice 4-seam fastball. Now the second one, much better, throwing 97 right out of the gate,
dialing it up.
I like the level of control so far. Everything we do though for this first batter is just going to be confirmation bias.
One of the things that I'm looking to do if I'm the Padres, and I'm watching a lot of pitches, I'm making sure that this guy can hit the zone consistently so that you can kind of scare him in, as they say, to making sure that he's got to hit the zone in order to be able to get guys out. When you start chasing for people that are in otherwise desperate positions, you help them out as a batter. Patience is critical here for the Padres to try to win this game, which conversely means if the Dodgers are going to get through this, Yamamoto's got to be able to find a way to pepper the zone. The stuff is one thing. The location is more important.
Okay, nice breaking ball. Easy play to first.
PFP.
Yamamoto covering. We're off to a great start, Clinton.
Decent start, 1 down. Freddie Freeman didn't have to move far. Another thing we talked about in terms of the injuries in this game.
And even just that first at bat, like that mattered, right? He's in the strike zone. He threw 4 pitches. The only ball that he threw just missed the corner. Like we're feeling good here from a Dodger perspective. As Tatis gets up, that could change.
You know
quickly.
how to score that, right?
Let me change this quick. Or let me flip this back to you for a second because I've been to probably, I don't know at this point, I've been probably to 70 Dodger games since 2008. What is different about covering a game? Because for me, like in basketball, the big thing is talking to the coaches on both teams. In this case, it would be the manager. Like when you're there, what are you learning that would be different from like a fan going in the stands?
It's an excellent question, and it's one of the reasons why when I cover games, oftentimes when I attend games, I will spend more energy on what happens before the game than I do than what even happens in the game. Oftentimes, depending on the situation, teams will take BP, and if they take it outside, you can get an idea of how a guy is feeling that day. It's not to say that if he hits 10 out in batting practice, which doesn't mean anything, that it's going to happen in the game. But typically, you get an idea of vibe. You get an idea of who's doing what, and on a basic eyeball test, today is a perfect example. Seeing Freddie Freeman take some ground balls would have given me some information as to what's actually going on with him. It's not just about what the injury report says. The eyeball test is major.
Yamamoto just mowed Tatis down.
We love that.
And
That's
I'm feeling
regular
even
K.
better.
Swinging.
That's
Stuff looked
regular
good,
K.
too. He jammed him inside early with the pitch that opened up the outside, and he got him leaning. That was a nice little setup in terms of pitch sequence from Yamamoto there.
Well, Clinton, so this is where I want to go back to the point that I was trying to make earlier in the show. he's got nasty stuff.
Correct.
Okay, and that's like that to me above all else was the reason that you throw him here, and he is all over the strike zone right now.
But to your point, one of the things that is difficult to pick up is what a pitcher is going to do in a pregame. You typically don't see a guy. They're in the bullpen. They're a little isolated. And if you even talk to other players, players aren't going to talk about the pitcher starting in that game.
1, 2, 3.
Knocked it down.
Mow him down. All right, now that could not have been a better start for the Dodgers. And what was the inning that everybody was so worried about?
It
and
was
by the way,
first.
I'm not trying to do this like with my chest
No,
out.
no,
okay?
no.
But like that,
You should be doing it with your chest out. You're back at 7-10, Trudell.
Hey,
get
look,
it together.
But that was exactly what you wanted to see. He only threw what, like 9 pitches?
Not as many pitches if I'm the Padres as I want him to throw.
7 pitches.
And it wasn't like every single pitch was a strike either. He's got them mixed up. That's good. But the other thing you get being at a game,
I think he threw 2 balls,
is talking to managers. And talking to managers, again, it's hard to describe when you've done it a certain amount of times, but you know this as a professional as well. You can get a vibe check. You can tell when a manager is either angry at his team and wants them to do something they haven't done before, or he feels like it's going well because his star player is in the correct headspace. That's why I wanted to play those sounds earlier from Dave Roberts before the game. He sounded a little just enough confused to me to be worried about Yamamoto, but as we've seen, it's been okay.
Well, I like the way you framed it also, and this is the difference to me between baseball and other sports, whether it's basketball or football. Like, it's such an individual game that, like, once the game starts, okay, did this player get a hit or not? It's not like it's, okay, how did this dude mesh with this guy?
Right.
What's the rotation, all that stuff goes to the manager, but, like, to me, that's where talking to each player, or as many as that you can, and then, like, actually watching the game as it takes place. But it's a little different in the NBA because it's like, well, yeah, why did they put a zone in the first half? And then, okay, this guy has a tweaked ankle. That's actually going to impact play a lot more. There's just the game itself, once it's going on, has a lot more variance, I feel like,
than
absolutely.
In baseball. I mean, basketball is the most intimate sport that there is in terms of athleticism to actual space on the floor, so that so many different things play such a different part. The individualism of baseball is kind of the cool part. You get both the team and the individual elements. Now, the other thing I like about pregame also is just kind of seeing how the crowd feels, because I've said this before about my life in general. I don't like going to the club when the club is already jumping when I get there.
Okay, I don't like going to the club, period. That's where just period.
I don't like in the club, and then it fills up around you, such that you have an idea of how energy has changed over the course of a few hours for the people getting there. Dodger Stadium in particular is interesting with this because, well, folks like to get a little lubed up. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to know what kind of night you're in for.
Yeah, because you worked hard to get there.
Based on how many people are there, literally when first pitch starts. Loud out of which you are not one. Do we have an update on that?
You're getting that $18 tall boy when you get in.
Yeah.
These tickets, the ones that we found that were like, okay, let's just pull the trigger. We can't buy them for whatever reason. We keep getting errors.
What?
And then now the second thing is they're ridiculous. Like the ones that were, they're about $30, $40 higher right now.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So this is what we call the Trudell effect. Because Trudell was kept saying, well, wait for it. And so they're all listening to him. And saying, well, somebody's going to buy them. Let's keep this price jacked up.
You know, okay, I most recently is, by the way,
Shohei Ohtani
Shohei is up. And so we have Japan against Japan here.
Japan wins. That's how we say that.
And I'm almost I'm so excited for this pitch here that I almost don't want to step on. Okay, that was a nice pitch from Darvish.
Outside,
now I went to the Green Day show at SoFi. I very rarely go to concerts anymore, but Green Day, other than 90s hip hop, like Green Day was the first CD that I bought. So it was like classic rock,
that's classic,
alternative rock,
older millennial stuff. Trust me, that's no big deal.
So I go to Green Day, and I waited. Because I didn't have to go, but I wanted to. I waited until the day of, and I kept waiting, and I got like a great ticket for like $45. Now that's different from a Dodger Game 5 playoff game, of course. And I'm apologizing, Laura, if my mindset from that show has come over into this Dodger situation, because usually I don't buy tickets.
Right.
I just show up to the arena. So I'm now regretting this, and if this is strike 2 with Jorge, that makes me worry even further.
Strike 2 there, strike 1 here.
With the baseball metaphor, as Darvish gets one past Ohtani, fastball outside. Ohtani had to step out of the box for that. Wasn't entirely sure what he was looking at. Well, that might have been a little cut.
We were speaking about kind of the rhythms of baseball and how, yes, it's an individual sport, but like Darvish, in this case, I wonder, seeing Yamamoto come out and mow down the top three, all of a sudden maybe a little bit more pressure on him in this first at bat.
That's real.
Like, that's the stuff that's real.
Yeah, that's real. That's what baseball is. Do we have somebody on the line? Is that what I'm seeing here? Perhaps not. Anyways, 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-3776. Mike Trudell, Clinton Yates here, filling in for Sedano and Cap. The game is on.
We got David 100.
So we're doing a little bit of a play-by-play. David 100 is on the line. I know David 100 from the COT. What up, Killer? How you doing?
What's up, my man, CY? You know what? Right now, I'm not doing too well at all. Spectrum has failed me. I'm at work, working, trying to catch a game on my phone, and guess what, brother? They blacked out the TV. I could only hear it. I can't watch it.
Oh, no. That's too bad.
Bro.
Good thing you're listening to us. How long are you there? How long are you there at work? Are you going to get out in time to see any of the game?
Nope. I don't get out till 10 p.m. That means I got to listen to you and then go watch the highlights.
All right,
you know what? Before I get off the phone, let's go Dodgers. Let me watch some win highlights, baby.
My man, that's David 100. You all know him from the COT, one of the more kind and respectful people in the COT, of which we know that there are plenty of folks that are really just there for a good time. But, you know.
The gummies.
That can go a bunch of different ways. What's up,
The
Lana?
tequila gummies. He brings the tequila mandala gummies.
He does. So, okay, that was a strikeout from Ohtani.
Yeah, so
He was
Shohei
looking.
struck out, 3-2. Nice pitch, breaking ball from Darvish, and now Mookie is up. I'm wearing my Mookie Betts Dodger jersey.
Number 50.
And, Mookie, talk about a turnaround from how his early postseason was going. Has been the best Dodger hitter the last couple of games here. So what I'm curious is, like, Darvish, when does the whole 4 days rest thing show itself? Like, is it going to be in how deep he can go? Is it going to be in his rhythm? And so far, like, he looks pretty good.
Well, that's the thing about what you were hoping for from the Padres. You were hoping that with Dylan Cease getting blown up and them having to go to their bullpen way earlier than maybe not Schilt had planned, but maybe he wanted, that if Darvish gets blown up, that their bullpen is a little taxed. That's what you're hoping. But they had the rest day as well.
I did feel like they held back a couple of their better arms, though.
Right.
When they were down
Once they got
8-0.
to a blowout point, you weren't going to burn a bunch of arms because you knew you were going to need them.
Yeah.
It's an excellent point. So to your point about Mookie, what I think happened with Mookie was that Mookie got a little bit too in his own head. He was talking about it. Doc was talking about it. When you're talking about the press clippings, even though you're having a tough stretch, it's not that it's the wrong thing to do, but it just feels like something that is harder to overcome when you're not actually blocking things out and you're listening to the noise even still.
Yeah, it's also just such an unavoidable part of baseball specifically.
Right.
And this is, again, the difference between basketball or football, where you can control your own destiny some. Just say, give me the ball. Like, I'm going to go get out of this.
Exactly.
It's like, nah, you're still up there on the island, and every time you don't get a hit, that's the only thing people are going to ask you about. And it's basically impossible to not have that happen from time to time.
Don't like
baseball.
how Mookie's hands are moving through the zone right there. He got a little bit of a hitch on that and rolled over on it. Seems like he didn't exactly get fooled, but he didn't know what he was looking for either.
Yeah,
that's the problem with facing you, Darvish.
Oh, Freddie's going to get. Let's see if he can get to second here. He's probably stopping at first. Not even close. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. Wow. He is laboring.
Yes.
So Freddie crushes the ball down the line. I will say Tatis did cut it off, so that would have been tough to turn. He's got a great arm also. But Freddie, I mean, this is why, Clinton, we talked about him and whether or not he should play, and he's shown all series that even with a pretty serious ankle injury, he's fully capable of just poking one through the infield, and he does it again.
Absolutely. But I do think that there's a consideration I would have had to bring him off the bench, but this is why you have him, because he can open your lineup with something good and get something started early at the top, which is what the Dodgers have needed for some time in this series.
And you can tell. So Freddie,
that
as
was
he
a
rounds
bad
first,
turn. Yeah.
There's no way to. And that's
no good way.
Yeah, with the ankle like that, you can't put that level of pressure to stop and go, which is why, again, you can play first base, but not shortstop or second or basically anywhere else.
The Brown on Brown here. What can Brown do for you, Lauda? You don't like this look, Lauda?
I hate the doo-doo brown.
The doo-doo browns are not bad to me.
Really?
Yes, because when you pair them with the lighter browns.
No,
let it run. What are we doing?
That's all we got.
That's the only hit.
Yeah.
So when you pair them with, I almost like this combo better than I like the full brown with the pinstripes, even though I do think the pinstripes look cool. Trudell, your thoughts?
Well, Teoscar's going to pop out here. So Darvish threw just one hit from Freddie, and what do you throw out, like 15 pitches? For me, the uniforms that are of not great color scheme, and I would include the Padres in this, can still be great if they're unique. And the Padres in baseball, their colors are unique.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the Cleveland Browns. There's nothing cool or flashy about those uniforms except that they've just been that way since Jim Brown in the past. So
that's true.
Think about the Washington Commanders and like that specific uniform, or even the 49ers. Like I wouldn't think that red and gold is always an awesome color combo, but because of the history that we associate with it and the uniqueness of it, I think it plays.
By the way, shouts to Molly from the COT who I hung out with after the Padres game. She was rocking the old school orange and blue Padres look, which I still think is actually better than the brown and yellow or whatever this is. The orange and blue from the Tony Gwynn era, that is some of the most pristine looking baseball jerseys. Ken Caminiti
I disagree.
comes to mind. Really, you didn't like those?
No, I didn't. That looked like it's like Cal State Fullerton.
Yeah, that's
vibes.
why it was cool.
No,
that's exactly why I liked it. Shouts to the Titans.
Mark Kotze?
Yeah, Mark
Right?
Kotze.
Back
By
in
the
the
way,
day.
Mark Kotze. This is a total aside, but we
That's
got
a
some
random
time to
poll
kill
that
because
Mark
we're in
Kotze's
baseball.
name got
It's
called
not
up on
that
here?
random. He's the manager of the Oakland Athletics, and in their last game, he was a guy that took to the mic and said some of the most meaningful words that I had ever heard. If you want to hear that, you can check out ESPN Daily, Ding, where we did the Death of a Sports Town.
Hosted by Clinton Yates.
Thank you, sir. We did the Death of a Sports Town series, and Kotze played a big part of that because that guy was the one guy willing to actually step up and say something.
I'm
Anyway.
also blaming Trudell for me not going to this game.
So where are we on this? What's happening?
Honestly, the tickets
are you giving up hope?
Well, the tickets are going up dramatically. And
Still?
Still.
Oh, my
and then
goodness.
two, the thing is, every time we find one that we're like, oh, that's okay, screw it. Yeah, we're paying more, but it's not what the other ones are. It says error. We both are getting errors here, so I don't know what's going on.
I am genuinely sorry about that.
Look at this guy.
That is-
Want to read out one of these things? Here's an award for Clinton Yates because he seems to really want everyone to know he knows how to keep a scorecard. Yes, I do fun things and share those activities with my friends. You dorks. Get over yourself. It's not about skill. It's not about being better than anybody. It's called fun. It's okay to have it. Trust me, you'll be fine, and nobody's going to think you're any less hard than you already are. Moving right along. How do you feel about the first inning of this game, Trudell?
Well, the biggest concern in what we spent most of the show talking about was, all right, what are we going to see, the Yamamoto decision? And like that, so that part, check. Okay, like now I think he's got a chance to get into a rhythm and actually take you more innings than maybe you even had expected. Would I have liked to have seen the Dodgers put something together on Darvish earlier? Yes, that would have been great, but Darvish looked pretty good too. There wasn't really. I think he had Shohei guessing, he had Mookie guessing on the. They both got to 3 and 2 counts, right? But then he threw breaking balls for strikes, and that's the difference to me between an elite pitcher as
Machado, first pitch swinging.
Machado got a hold of one, but warning track, thankfully. Mookie gets it in the warning track. So that's the first hard hit ball of the evening. But Yamamoto now through the top 4 hitters of the Padres.
I would say also that the Freddie Freeman situation was a little bit more concerning than I thought. That did not look good. He looks like the kind of guy that if you could be in a lower league, you would pinch run for him. You would have a runner for him every time. And he's playing beer league softball.
And this is the trick now. We talked about this, though. Also, okay, so a scenario that I was not going to be surprised by because we saw it in Game 3 was he starts the game. Yes, okay, you've been treating the ankle all day and the night before, and it feels okay, right? He's getting BP, he's doing some fielding, but then he gets out there, and the first time that he actually has to run and turn even a little bit, that sets you back another couple of days. Like that type of ankle injury, and we don't know exactly what it is. Like to me, it seems more like a high ankle situation.
Dr. Trudell here?
Just the well, I actually, look, so I was a soccer player, right, in basketball, so I had done my low ankles a million times. First time I ever had a high ankle sprain was last year, and it is nasty. Like it's a lot different from what a normal ankle injury is. And 2 outs now. Nice routine ground ball to second base, and we're feeling pretty good here from a Dodgers
Jackson
standpoint.
Merrill, by the way, the odds-on NL Rookie of the Year. That guy can mash.
And so I think that here's the point. Like as Freddie continues to go, I'm sure that he'll get another at bat, but like you may have to go to all right, let's get Pajes into center, let's move Kike to third and Max over to first and just go with it that way, and you don't lose a ton, but I'm glad, as Freddie already showed, he got up there and got the first hit to kind of wet the Dodgers' beak a little bit.
As for their plate approaches, I mean, that's the problem with you, Darvish, is that you're always kind of guessing. He's got this kind of magic to this old man game where he'll drop down arm slots on you, he'll mix you up from a speed standpoint, and he's already got a 7-pitch arsenal, effectively, which is borderline unheard of for somebody at that age. Not that he's an advanced age, but he's a pretty, he's been in the bigs for a while. And so I think that's going to be the issue is are they at an advantage, the Dodgers, getting Darvish out of the game versus trying to figure out Darvish himself is a question you have to ask yourself. Yamamoto, 3-0.
So all 3 pitches of this at-bat to Bogaerts have been right on the edge, but he's just missed outside. And so the first 3-0 count, the first kind of trouble count here that we've seen early, and now just straight gas down the middle. That time it gets up to 98. I like though he does not look rattled. I'll say that. No. And that was if that were a concern, that is now out of the window, and that's good news.
All right, so it's 0-0. Dodgers are, sort of hanging. I mean, look, I think he looks okay. A lot of hat adjustments.
He looks great.
A lot of hat adjustents.
He looks great.
I'm not implying he's going to the hat for any substances. That's not what I'm implying, listeners. I'm just saying, he's clearly.
There's a walk.
Clearly keeping that focus so that he can stay locked in and he gets his first walk of the game. That's not good. Mike Trudell here. I'm Clinton Yates. We're kind of doing play-by-play. Game 5, Dodgers-Padres. First runner of the game for the Pods right now. Didn't seem to ever really be in that at-bat. Xander Bogaerts manages to draw a walk. Yamamoto, the highest-paid pitcher in the bigs. Player in the bigs in general.
So 19 pitches so far.
Yeah.
And 14 of them strikes. The 5 balls, 4 of which happened to in that last at-bat, are all just missing. So that's to me the more encouraging part is that he is just throwing like he throws, and there's no it doesn't seem like it's game 5 and he's all over the place and he's erratic and the Padres aren't really getting a hold of it other than Machado got one going.
He's throwing well. This is not a situation where he's wild.
We're feeling good now.
Or all over the shop. This is a pretty good baseball game right now.
So when you you can just decide, you being Clinton Yates, okay, I'm going to cover this game. What's the next game that you're going to say, hey editors,
whatever the next game is in Southern California, okay, I will probably be there. I've got a column that I'm going, depending on, not to get too far behind the curtain here, but depending on win or lose in this situation, I got something coming out about Dave Roberts, because that point that I was telling you about what the fate of him is going to be as a manager, I think is multifold for all the sorts of reasons that are in fact quite unique to who the Dodgers are specifically. We got 2 outs here. We're going to see how this ends before we go to break.
Yeah, routine ground ball to second.
All right. Well,
and he's through 2. No hits, 1 walk so far. So
well
Yamamoto
done.
Cruising.
By the way, if you want to enter for a chance to win the ultimate winery experience at Francis Ford Coppola Winery with airfare for 2, a 2-night hotel stay, and a winery tour, well, just enter at ESPNLA.com. You got to be 21 and up and a California resident. The prize is awarded as a gift card. It's Francis Ford Coppola Winery, Geyserville, Sonoma County, California. Enjoy responsibly. He's Mike Trudell. I'm Clinton Yates. This is Sedano Kap on ESPN 710, Los Angeles.
Football is back, and so is Shake Shack's free chicken Sundays. Going on now, Shake Shack is offering a free Chicken Shack with $10 minimum purchase with code Chicken Sunday in Shack or on ShakeShack.com on Sundays only. Terms apply.
Hey, it's Travis.
And DeMarco.
Hey, accidents can be shocking, devastating, and difficult to deal with, which is why you should never deal with them alone and have family on your side.
Joseph S. Normand and his trusted team are family, and they're here to help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve.
You know, when my son was in an accident, we called Joseph at 213-747-2000, and he was able to help.
You have many choices in a legal team, but family always comes first.
Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand.
Hey, it's Mace. NBA basketball is 11 days away, and the best place to watch all the action is Cosm. It's revolutionary technology bringing the sports experience to life. Visit Cosm.com. Enjoy NBA action in shared reality all season long.
It's SUV month at Kia of Carson, and you can get sweet deals on the last of the 24 Tellurides and win a sweet night experience for you and 3 guests for just a test drive. Compliments of Kia of Carson and ESPN LA. We have great deals on our hybrids and plug-ins, as well as our all-electric models. So whether you decide to go with the Nero hybrid with an EPA estimated 53 mpg in the city or a rugged Telluride, we have the car and the deal for you all month at Kia of Carson. Visit KiaofCarson.com, or better yet, come test drive a new Kia for a chance to win a sweet experience.
Hey guys, it's Cappy here, and I want to talk about my friend Avner Gatt, a public adjuster. Now, many of you guys have asked me, why Avner Gatt? What makes his team so unique at handling insurance claims? So let me tell you something. I've been working with Avner and his team for a while. I can tell you this. Avner Gatt has a dynamic team that's highly effective and successful because these folks come from a very diverse background in the insurance industry. For example, some of them used to work for insurance companies before they joined Avner's team. Yes, they actually chose to switch sides when they realized the effectiveness of Avner's team's work. Some of them used to be in the restoration business, rebuilding homes after disasters. Some of them used to be in the contents handling business, moving homeowners' belongings to a safe place for restoration and storage. Some of them were experts in hazardous materials handling, like asbestos and lead testing. That was their daily work. And some of them were members of law firms handling bad faith claims and general business disputes. You see, diversification is the name of the game. When you are represented by Avner Gatt's team, you have the entire team's experience and know-how by your side. No one, and I mean no one, messes with Avner Gatt and his team. So call Avner Gatt right now, 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256. That's AvnerGatt.com, AVNERGAT, AvnerGatt.com. When you call him directly, Avner Gatt and his family, they take the calls themselves. Avner Gatt says, hello.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Sedano and Kap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN. It's 6:30 p.m. Big deal or no deal. Take it away, Sedano.
No Sedano.
No Sedano. Trudell, Yates. What you got, Lauda? It's time for Big Deal or No Deal.
Okay, big deal or no deal that Briones and I are still here because we don't got no tickets to the game because of Mike Trudell.
Oh, man.
Well, okay, hold on.
This is a big deal.
We're not throwing this on. This went from.
No, I'll take it.
No, I'm not going to let that happen. I will be an adjudicator here. This went from a side quest to a mission to suddenly Trudell's responsibility based on old beef that nobody remembered except for Briones.
First of all, that's between them. I actually really wanted to go, and I was like, when he came in here, he's like, hey, this is how much the tickets are. I'm like, sure, just do it. And then Trudell's like, well, wait, 508. Those tickets are going to come soaring down.
You did insert yourself into the story.
You know what I mean? So that's why I'm just saying.
Okay. You know, I feel
they are going up. They're still going
for
up.
me, Laura, because look, I like you. I respect your work. I was trying to offer my perspective, but what I tell my kids, your mom and I, let's take it back. What my mom used to tell me and my dad, I can give you advice, but ultimately the decision is on you.
That is true.
Yeah. Okay?
I will
At 125, you should have locked in.
So here's the thing. I feel badly, though. I have a lot of empathy for this. I feel partly to blame, and I am happy to cover the difference of what a ticket would be.
Wow,
That's
now we're
really
talking.
Because
That's really nice.
I do feel that guilt, but it's your fault.
Big money Mike over here.
You
Now
serious?
we're
Hey,
talking.
I missed that comment. I guess Brianna said he was like, "Oh, now I'm making money or something," and I was like, "Oh, I missed that." No, but honestly,
Briones, hold on. Now
Now we got to air out why Briones is so willing to pay for these tickets because he's got a little extra cash on hand.
Oh,
All right?
you want to air it out?
I'm
Why
just
you got
saying.
the extra
I don't
cash?
need to bring out why,
Okay,
but I'm just saying. Look,
it's not illegal activities.
we're
people,
not
okay?
blaming
Just saying.
Trudell for any of this. It's not what's happening.
No,
right
look, on the real, I kind of did a little bit, but he's right. It should have. We've been trying to pull the trigger though on
Right.
any ticket at this point,
It
and
sounds like-
any app is not letting us. So I don't know what's
Yeah,
going
exactly.
on
It
with that.
sounds like even if you saw your proper price point come up, and then the app was like, nah.
Yeah, the app is like, nah,
the app
nah.
is
We're good.
And you know what? I'm all about vibes, and there's a reason why we're not there.
Well, do you have it in you to just go and see if you can make it work?
Like, I'm down to go once I get off, but
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but the thing is that by that time, there's a cutoff point, right? Like that
I
you
think it's
can't
the
buy
4th.
that you can't buy tickets anymore.
Is it the 4th?
I don't know.
is there?
Yeah,
there's
there is.
definitely a cutoff point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it becomes unsafe at that point to start letting people in
No,
if there people
true,
are,
yeah.
so
Yeah,
there's a
there's a
security
cutoff point.
measure there. Will Smith, by the way, just turned on a couple onto the right side.
Oh,
Machado
don't
picks it
even
up
turn
and
that.
Big league turn.
Oh,
Big league turn
no.
right there. Wow.
So Muncy walked, got on, and then Will Smith hard ground ball into a double play.
5-4-3, excuse me.
Classic 5-4-3.
Okay, so guys,
Yes.
I saw that T.I. is retiring from live performances. He says, I don't want to do it anymore. So he came out on 96.1, the Beats afternoon show, and said that he's just not feeling it anymore. That he's not gonna perform anymore. And I just want to know, do you guys think this is a big deal or no deal?
This is a huge deal. You know why he's retiring?
Okay, tell me.
He won a lawsuit for $70 million. That's why. This guy said, I don't need to retire. I don't need to perform anymore as a ball leaves the yard.
Hold on. Kike just
Kike.
popped one.
Kike Hernandez doing
Hey,
Kike
man.
Hernandez things. Wow.
Has swagger than most people in the universe.
That's true.
And
That
he
is
just
true.
swagged out in Game 5, changed any vibe that could have been going in the other direction after the double play. And he did. Okay, I was watching this game with Billy Mack. Some of you might know him.
Yeah.
And we were coming up, and shout out to Dan Warkey at the LA Times. We're in Milwaukee watching Game 4. And what he just
Left
did
one
to
inside,
celebrate
yeah.
his home run, we have a couple of terms now that I can't say on the radio. Okay,
Can
know
you
what I'm
say
talking
them
about,
with
Laura?
words that rhyme with what they might
and
be,
no,
or
the
are they
key-
that foul?
But the rule was you have to employ alliteration. Okay,
Okay.
You have to. You have
Okay,
to.
I know.
So that was the game, and we came up with about 6 different ones, and you can fill in the blank.
Did any of them involve the name of a bird that might have a
100%.
cartoon made after?
That was one of my favorite ones, and we can compare notes after. But man, Kike, I love this dude.
That
and
was
so does
huge.
everybody in Dodger Stadium.
That's
And
exactly what you need on a day like this. Kike was the guy who did the press
presser?
conference
Yeah,
before
yeah.
the game. Dave put him up there. He was going to have Freddie up there. They said, no, let's get this guy.
Yeah, let's
number
give
8,
Dave some credit
who
for
they
that.
brought back to the team, by the way. He's one of the old friends, if you will,
Yeah.
who's returned to this roster. Immediate impact in this game.
And now tough play at second, so Lux is going to get out. But like what
Okay.
you love about the homer 2 from the quote unquote the bottom of the Dodger order is that now next inning you got to go to Shohei and Mookie and Freddie Freeman.
That could have been much bigger damage, too, if that double play doesn't happen.
Clinton, when we grew up watching baseball, like once you got past the 4-hitter, you're like, all right, fine, we're good. Like we're good, or at least watching like the Minnesota Twins. For me, we never had any studs out there hitting 7, 8, 9,
No.
and so now the Dodgers can get that kind of production, and this is going quite well.
We
so
are
far.
understandably a play or so behind, so, pardon us. We're in the studio trying to do a radio show here.
Are they tweeting at you?
No, people are letting me know it's fine. You got one more or no? Lana?
We got many more. We
Okay,
got many
very
more.
well.
All right, so I'm a big Halloween / Thanksgiving / Christmas person. Okay, I love
Holiday
the
season
end.
upcoming. Yes.
Yes, I love it. And one thing that we see pop up a lot during this time is Spirit Halloween, right? If you want all the goodies for your costumes and decked out your house, even though Mace isn't into it, you go to Spirit Halloween. But this year, they're doing something a little different. So once Halloween's over, they're rolling this out,
Yeah,
and
I'm
it's going to
listening.
become Spirit Christmas. So they're
What?
like, hey, we're going to clear out the Halloween stuff, but we're coming strong with the Christmas season. So how do you guys feel
Interesting.
about this? Big deal or no deal?
Well, Can I ask some follow-up questions?
Yeah, go for it.
So, are we talking like Christmas sweaters? Like what else? What
So
else is even in this spot?
it's like literally like the Christmas tree, the decorations. I don't know if the sweaters are involved.
Like the ornaments and stuff?
Yeah, all that stuff. Yep.
I'm down.
Because the main part of the Spirit Halloween thing is like to get your Halloween costume, right? Like I
Yeah.
get sure you want to get the skeleton to put in your rose bush or whatever.
Well, Mace ain't a fan, but yes.
But Christmas, you're not really dressing up for unless you're trying to go to a party. I mean, I guess some families like to do the matching jammies thing. You into the matching jammies?
Yeah, I've done
Me
it.
and my man did it for the first time this
that's
year.
like half the fun of Christmas.
Yeah.
I will say
Ugly
this, though.
sweater is the way to go.
Those lawn ornaments are far more profitable than you think.
Yes.
Lowe's is making major cash off
Hobby
those.
Lobby,
It's
bruh.
a big deal, dog.
Tell me more.
It's not just about the costumes. It's about the
Mm-hmm.
decorations. I
Yeah.
would go so far as to say this.
Yeah, they wouldn't put them up there every year, I guess, if they didn't sell.
I'd do a remote at a Spirit Halloween and or Christmas. That
Oh.
would be a mega fun time
I'm so
as far as
down.
I'm concerned. I would
Sales? Let's do this.
absolutely love to do that. Not because I'm super into the holidays because of like what they actually mean, but I just think it's fun because in this order, they get better. I like Thanksgiving the most. I like Halloween the second best, and then I like Christmas the third best. That's my medal stand of the holiday season. New Year's Eve doesn't really make the medal stand. It's just a drinking holiday, and that's sort of a different thing.
You're not a 4th of July guy?
4th of July, I mean, it's fine.
It's barbecue.
I'm from DC, bro. So, like,
So 4th of
if
July
I'm not
is,
there, it doesn't feel the same.
4th of July is higher on my list just because of my childhood and because like the lake life in Minnesota is what you live for. Like we deal with 0 minus temperatures for all of these months, and the 4th of July always kind of symbolizes you're outside, you're on the boat, all
Okay.
that. So but now I'm in LA. I'm like,
It's all year round, right? Like what did we do? I don't even remember what we did this 4th of July, but I feel like trying to do the most on 4th of July is not the business. Like, I'm not trying to go to the beach, too much going on. I'm not trying to go to no park, too much going on. And you can do those things any other day in LA.
I hear that. It's kind of stressful in the way that like Valentine's Day can be stressful.
Yeah.
In that like or New Year's where you feel like you got to be doing something. Whereas in Christmas like you're home with your family, Thanksgiving you're home with your family, right? And Halloween you're getting to go trick or treating.
All right.
You know that Barnes & Noble that was near my crib? That's it's a Spirit Halloween now.
So my thing is, I am excited because I love to deck out my place for Halloween. Like, that's my go-to. So I kind of want to dip in there, but my man was already like, you got way too much crap. You don't need any more. You and Hobby Lobby. Right now I'm like on this like do-it-yourself kind of deal.
The DIY vibes?
The DIY vibes. And I'm like, I got to stop, man. I got like Senora vibes 100 locked out. So no.
Shouts to the Boo for putting a kibosh
He's
on
like,
it.
no. He's like,
All
you
right,
cannot go.
Yamamoto's back out there. All right, you got something ready for the other side of this, Trudell? We're coming up on our final segment.
Oh, I
You've
got something for
lasted
you.
all the way through.
Yeah, I got something
We've
for you.
talked about basketball just a little.
It's random.
It's random,
but
even
it's
better.
But it's gonna be fun.
All
for
right,
you.
he's Mike Trudell. I'm Clayton Yates. This is Sedano Kap on ESPN 710, Los Angeles.
The MLS Cup playoffs are just 2 games away for the black and gold. And the young 18-year-old sensation, David Martinez, is on fire.
David Martinez puts it in. Oh, what a rebound shot from David as Melia made the initial save.
LAFC invade Vancouver on Sunday, looking to make it 5 straight wins.
David Martinez has scored.
Pre-game coverage of LAFC versus Vancouver begins Sunday at 4 p.m. on the ESPN LA app.
Going through a life change, whether you're downsizing, you've inherited a home, or you're just ready for a change, Seller's Advantage is here to make selling your home easy. They'll buy it as is with a competitive cash offer. With Seller's Advantage, you're in control. Close as quickly as you want and do it on your own terms. Check out their reviews online and call for a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS. That's 888-390-2747 or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Take a sip of sunshine this season with Milagro Tequila. What's up, guys? It's D-Far. Milagro Tequila is made from 100% blue agave, crafted for bright flavor and exceptional smoothness. Enjoy the freshest margaritas with Milagro Silver, mix up some palomas with Reposado, or simply sip Milagro Añejo on the rocks. Milagro at your favorite retailer, in stores, and online. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila. Milagro Tequila. Must be 21 and over. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hey, what up? It's Matt Barnes here. If you're looking for the best possible results after an accident, call my guy, Uncle Artie, at Pernia Law.
For me, it's about getting the top result and the top value for your claim. Even if you didn't have insurance during the accident, Uncle Artie will still help you. I'm sure a lot of you out there got turned back from attorneys when you said, I don't have insurance. Well, guess what? Uncle Artie can still help you. It does not matter. Give us a call. You have nothing to lose. We take the case on a contingency. You don't pay up front.
Uncle Artie's not just my friend, but he's your uncle in the business. Artie Purnier is a seasoned personal injury attorney who works with you so you receive the best possible compensation for your case. Let Uncle Artie and the Purnier Law family provide peace of mind so you can focus on your recovery.
Trust us, trust Uncle.
When you're looking for the best possible results after an accident, call my guy, Uncle Artie, at Purnier Law, 844-DIAL-UNC. That's 844-DIAL-UNC.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Sedano and Kap, Trudell and Yates. So we had a development here over the break. First of all, it looks like this Dodgers stadium trip is an eject. Well, but now everybody on the station is now in the same group chat about this game, too. And so my phone is blowing up with all sorts of stuff that we cannot repeat on the air. But that's fun. That is extremely fun.
Well, the good news on one sense is that the ticket prices, it sounds like, are starting to go down. The bad news is you can't buy tickets no matter what you do, Lindsay.
I don't. Lindsay. Whoa.
Lindsay,
wow.
Laura.
Whoa.
I just saved Lindsay's number on my.
A lot going on
here.
Yeah. You see how confusing everything is.
So Laura just came in here and told me whose numbers were whose.
Yeah,
so
he did not have a lot of people.
Lindsay I didn't have, and then Laura I do have, and then I just called Laura Lindsay. So that was great.
All right, it's time for Dealer's Choice. Real Deal brought to you by Seller's Advantage. Want to sell your house before you call an agent? Call Seller's Advantage. They'll buy it as is with a competitive cash offer. No repairs needed. They make selling easy. Call 888-390-AS-IS for a no-obligation offer or visit sellersadvantage.com.
I have something random for you.
Yes, this is your segment.
So I was listening to Travis and DeMarco this morning, and they were throwing out some takes about what to bring into the movie theater, and I have been a longtime fan of DeMarco. In fact, getting ready for the pickleball tournament last year, played a lot of pickleball with him, came out by the way. Great guy, sweet man. He had the worst take I've ever heard on what to bring into the movies, and it's been bugging me all day.
Okay, let's hear it.
I want to make sure that I'm not the crazy one. Laura, are you ready for what DeMarco brings to the movie theater?
Did you hear this, Laura?
No.
Question. No. So we're all blind on this.
Okay.
So this is what DeMarco. He's like three things. These are the three things that he gets when he's at the movie theater. One, nachos with cheese.
Okay.
Okay, that's a
basic.
little. The basic.
We're already
but
off to
also-
a bad start.
Right.
It's the
I
big
don't.
cheese.
Nachos in the movie
The
theater. is
dark
weird to me.
theater, like you're getting the
Yeah.
cheese. So that's one. Number 2, Raisinets.
Okay.
Number 3,
Raisinets are
Number
gross.
3, Whoppers. Now, like
Oh.
Whoppers or
Whoppers?
whatever, but like together, those are the 3 things
That's gross.
that you're getting at the movie theater. What are you now? I'm going to give you my 3 things.
Okay.
And just to make sure again that I'm not crazy. So
Right.
the first thing, and I feel like this has to be number. It's the butter popcorn.
You're big on
it's
popcorn?
It's the heavily buttered popcorn. It's the
Yes.
number 1 movie snack.
That's the top seed. Yes.
Now,
If we were
is that
playing
all
the
you're
feud-
doing with the popcorn? Just the butter?
Well, so first of all, I'm going layered butter. So we're
Okay.
going. So
Okay.
like, if
That's a
it's the
lot.
type of place where you do it yourself, I'm asking them to fill it halfway up. Then I'm going to the butter. Then I'm going back
That's an extended
to
effort.
get the
Yeah,
butter
that's a lot.
to
Okay.
the top. But either way, like we're going a lot of butter. So that's the first thing, and
Okay.
then 1 salt packet. Now number 2 is the icy. Now, where I go with icy, I go with the cherry, and then I top it off with a little blue raspberry in
This
the
is
middle.
an equally messy affair, though, if you're talking about nachos. Let's be real.
What are you talking icy? What do you
No,
mean?
you
got
just
a
suck
straw.
it.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, some people
Like,
eat
all
things
you gotta do
different
is,
ways.
you know.
Isolate that, by the way. We got a major isolation moment there. Clip that. Anyway, moving right along. I'm just saying, ices can be messy.
So that's number 2. Now, look, if like I'm a Mountain Dew guy, but like you can't always get that. You
Right.
get the Coke, whatever. So whatever your soda of choice is, that's fine. But either I'm going icy. And then number 3 is the greatest candy today.
Okay.
It's a newer candy. Nerds gummies. This is now the best
Those are
candy
good.
that
They
you
are.
can get. Like I get it. Ireland's $100,000 guy. That's a great
Right.
candy bar, classic.
That
I
is
get
good.
it. But like you can never go wrong with Skittles or Sour Patch. But like the best combo, the butter popcorn, the icy, and the Nerds gummies, compared to the Raisinets, Nachos, and Whoppers.
So I think I can spot a trend here in what DeMarco's doing. He needs a constant flow of something while he's watching a movie, because there's no way you're going both nachos to Raisinets to Whopper. That means you're just constantly moving your hands while you're watching a movie. In that stead of things that are readily available, Junior Mints are a good go-to in that regard. But Junior Mints can get messy if they stick, or it's just not great.
What are your 3 though? What are your 3
Okay.
things?
I bring goldfish to the movie theater.
I was going to say,
That's
I
what
bring
I
my
do.
own stuff to
I
the movie
bring
theater.
goldfish to the movie theater, but I don't like necessarily elaborate snacks, except the other day I went to see The Wild Robot.
Oh, okay.
Great movie, by the way. Went to the Otani gets a
Otani
hold of
pops
one
up.
and puts it way up to the
You're
sky.
like, eh.
And we went to the dinner theater where you can order
Oh, yeah.
food. Bro, I got a whole Supreme pizza.
Yeah.
Bang that bad boy out. It was delicious. I'd taken the elevator to the top floor, so it was easier to eat.
Yep.
But it'd been a while since I'd had like a full meal as Marcus Grant walks into the studio, and I did a full meal. I went with a pizza in the theater, but it was also a pizza from the theater.
I was going to say,
it was
so
good.
that's the go-to now. Like, I'll go to the Alamo Draft House, and they
Yes.
have a full bar.
Shouts
They
to
have food.
Emily, who does that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's been my spot. No offense, and before that, but
I'm
you know what I'm
saying.
saying? Like, it's a good, I love places like that because I'm like, there's usually no kids. Like, the Alamo Draft House is adults. So, but if I do take my 3 snacks, I'm taking some hot Cheetos because that's my thing.
Hot Cheetos
Okay.
and tacos.
I'm also doing my own drink, if you know what I mean.
Wow, you're bringing airport bottles into the
I'm
movie
just
theater?
saying.
That is ghetto.
Okay, I own it. Okay, I bring my own liquor.
Right.
And it depends. Like, I'll probably do like some red vines or something like that.
Okay. Well, that was a good dealer's choice. Appreciate that. We're going to do a little quick mini crosstalk here. Marcus in the building. What's up, sir?
What's going
How
on,
are you?
fellas? How you doing? Doing good.
Doing good, man. The first inning, Yamamoto got out of it. AK's in the building. He's got a nature bar with him. He's probably bringing that into the movie theater. How do you feel about tonight and this Game 5 matchup quickly? We got 1 minute.
I felt good about it. I've been saying all day long, like, no stats, just vibes. I feel like Yamamoto goes out and shoves. And so far, the one little spot of trouble he got into, he got the double play ground ball, so I'm feeling pretty good.
My big thing was Yamamoto needed to get through the first inning.
Yeah.
He did. Now I feel a lot better about whatever's coming next.
We got the big group text going on from everybody at 710. There's all sorts of various things flying, but you made it through, Trudell. You came back. You rocked your Dodgers jersey. We didn't even talk that much. We didn't even talk that much Lakers, but you nailed it.
tried to throw me off my game. I felt like I pushed through and got there, and Yamamoto being this good through 3. We're in great shape and looking forward to the next show, fellas. Andy, haven't seen you in a couple days.
How are you guys going to handle this in terms of the play-by-play? Like, what are you going to do?
I'll tell you what we're doing. Easiest money in the world. That's what we're doing. It's just Marcus and I.
Just reacting. Read and react. That's it.
And nobody's here either.
Let me tell you, light prep show. Very
honesty
prep.
is a good policy. I'm glad that you came out like that, Andy. That's good.
Well, since we've got, I lied about a minute. I thought you guys were going to ramble on since you tend to do that. No, I'm joking. How do you feel about if this, and we're still in lightning round here, if this series ends today, Dave's career with the Dodgers ends today? Marcus, you first.
I don't think so. I think this year has been maybe his best managerial job in a long time. And I think this series he's been very good. This is a very flawed team with a pitching staff that's just been beat up forever. I feel like it's hard to hold him accountable unless he makes some major brain fart tonight. I think it's hard to hold him accountable to this.
Yeah. You?
I don't think it should, but I fear it will.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's going to be this narrative that it's 3 first-round exits in a row against the same team. You know, Dave has been unpopular with the fan base for a while, and, you know, it's either that or blame themselves in the front office, and I don't picture that happening.
That doesn't happen.
From a decision standpoint, though, the big one for this one was who you're going to start, and clearly he made the right choice.
So far, so good.
Yeah. And otherwise, he's got a lot of great choices from the bullpen.
I'm not saying Dave is infallible, but be careful what you wish for.
All right, lastly, before we get out of here, reminder,
win anyway.
The USC Trojans are back at the Coliseum on Saturday to host the number 4 Penn State Nittany Lions. Coverage begins at 10:30 a.m. with the Trojan Tailgate Show, and kickoff from the Coliseum is at 12:30. Hear it all right here on your home for USC Athletics, 710 ESPN, and the all-new ESPN LA app. Saturday's game is presented by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, a proud sponsor and the official retail bank of USC Athletics. Fight on! For Dave Trudell, I'm Clinton Yates. Coming up next, Andy Kamenetsky and Marcus Grant. For 10 more seconds, I could just sit here and talk about what's going to happen in front of